Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest. Mr. Rodney Torres is with us. How are you?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
What were you doing right there?
I was filming you, and I was just about to start laughing because that was just so funny.
I've never had anybody film the intro. I was just saying before,
that was the most nervous I've ever seen you get.
All these cameras, but as soon as the iPhone comes out, it short circuits me. I don't know why. Somebody pointing a camera.
Yeah, it's a bail gun,
dude.
Bro,
totally. Yeah. It's the bail gun, or you're just camera shy. I mean, I don't think you are, but
nah, I don't think so either.
when it comes down to it, it's like even like when people, can I take a photo? You know, I'm always like, I just point because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Even like I'm sure you've had this issue too. Is like when you sign a board, right? You sign a board for somebody, you're like, do I write? What do I like? Hey man, thanks so much, or hey, like. Do I or just sign it?
I just sign it. Yeah. Just signature. All right, cool. Thanks,
they're like,
man.
hey,
I appreciate it. You know, either way. So I'll just sign it, hand it over. Like,
or like they're like, hey, put to Jebediah or something. I'm like, how do I spell that? I'm gonna get the guy's name wrong now. I'm gonna fuck it all up.
I mean, as long as you're not telling your life story when you're signing the board.
Maybe I should actually.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I should start off at the nose and make my way all the way down from the top.
Why not?
So I was 15 when I started skateboarding. Man. Before that, let me tell you, dude. Rodney Torres, man, thank you so much for coming on the show,
dude,
bro.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I feel honestly honored. I'm a fan of the show.
Appreciate that.
And you guys are killing it. I couldn't believe what I walked into when I walked in here, but
a lot of
it's
people.
Great. That's all I can say. It's great.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Jerron, I haven't seen you in a minute.
Hell yeah.
Chris, I haven't seen you in a minute. Kelly, thank you.
Yes, of course.
Here we are.
Bro, we were talking before the show, 2005, maybe?
Yeah.
That was when you were staying with Joey Brzezinski. You came to LA for a little while.
Yeah. I was riding for Official Skateboards at that time. Yeah. They flew me out. I think it was primarily for like for the trade show, I think, around that time, but also to just hang out and skate. And I stayed with Joey for a bit. I was with him for like maybe a month.
Okay.
Sleeping on his couch, had pugs all over me.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm a pug owner.
You're a pug. It all started with Joey's pugs.
It all started with Joey's pugs.
Wow.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it.
Man,
that's amazing.
Was he Snapchatting back in the day? Was this around Snapchat?
Twitter?
Oh, he's doing his twumps probably.
Actually, 2005 might have been too early.
Twumps.
Yes, I was, but it was also twext, I guess you could say.
Wow.
Or I don't know what to call them, but he would send me through text also.
Oh,
those
you were his
twumps,
which is it's basically his doo doo in the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He would call them twumps.
He was strong with those.
Yeah.
He was posting all the time.
It was really bizarre.
It was. Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry that you got subjected to actually texts of
traumatized.
No, yes, for real.
No, it was just, I guess, I don't know. Everyone's got their own thing. Whatever.
He's a funny dude. He's always been into
whatever people are into.
He adapts very.
He does.
You know, if he moves on very quickly, dude. He'll go, hey, do that for a minute, and then we're gonna move on.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, he was heavy in this Twitter, twumps, and Snapchat, and now he's a TikTok guy. You know.
2005 though, was that like that was just like Facebook back then, wasn't it? Like
I
Twitter?
Think so. Yeah.
Twitter wasn't
Twitter? No. It had to have been.
Twitter's been around. Twitter's like 12, 13.
It was
like 2010.
Was it MySpace?
He was sending Tom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was sending Tom his dumps.
Probably.
on
MySpace.
MySpace, yes.
Yeah. It was one of those platforms, but I just remember staying at his crib and like I would wake up, push all the pugs off me.
Yeah.
All the hair and everything off my face, and then I'd look and he'd be like giggling at all the twumps he would send out to people. Like I would just see the back of him just laughing and doing that, and I'm like, damn, Joey.
It's the small things for certain people. Like
Yeah.
I will say staying with Joey though must have been good because he's highly motivated when it comes to like skating, and especially if he has a guest there, dude, he'll go anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, but I mean, at that time, I think if I remember correctly, I think he was filming for like some sort of audio project or something, and I think you might have been too because we all linked up. Like me, you, him, Raj. We went to a couple different spots.
I think where we went.
I forget. It was so long ago. I do remember going with him to I forget the spot, but we went to that spot like almost a whole month. I was there.
I hope it's not the spot with like the 2 circle manuals.
We did go there a couple. We did go there a couple times.
Sorry that you were subjected to that spot. It's fucking horrible.
In New York, that spot would be sick though. Okay. You know, like here, I was like, whoa, this is pretty. Like
it's pretty rugged.
It's
and
rugged.
Not fun.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. Yeah, not fun. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of back home, and that's not why I'm here. So, what's going on? You know, but yeah, it was cool. It was cool nonetheless.
Yeah, man. What are you doing out here? Just a little vacation?
Yeah, I came out here with my family, basically.
Okay.
My girlfriend Monica and our dog, our pug Meatball. And we just needed to escape the winter. I've been living, born and raised in New York, been living there my whole life, and I don't come here that often. I just always kept it local. So this was just a good opportunity for us to escape the winter.
Okay.
And, when we got here, we escaped one big winter storm, and now just this past weekend, another.
It hit,
I'm like,
yeah.
Perfect.
But the funny thing is that not a lot of people know that I'm here. Like, I didn't really put it, I'm going to LA. I didn't put it on social media, nothing. So
why, is there a reason? You just dipped out.
I just dipped. I was like, I'm out. That's it. I'm going to be in Cali.
You don't need to be all up in my business. I'm out.
Exactly. I'm going to go visit some friends, and it's not going to be like liking their shit on social media. It's going to be, yo, what's up? How you been?
Yeah.
So
for sure.
It was just our little getaway, our way to get out.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like a lot of East Coasters, they always escape the winter. They'll come out to Cali.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how we know a lot of people.
And that's how they get recruited to move here.
That's true. That's true too.
A lot have done that.
I'm waiting for my phone call.
Nowadays it seems like a lot of people from California are moving to New York. New York's becoming a big
hub for skating.
Yeah. Which I love.
All these models and shit, they're turning into models. So it's you got to go to New York.
There you go.
New York and LA, those are the hubs right there.
There you go.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Well, I mean, that's how I feel about LA. Like I was born and raised here. I love it, but I hate it at the same time. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things I love and hate.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Sometimes you guys probably feel it out here. Like you guys have your spots you've gone to, you've done your thing at, and you have your locals that have done the same, right? And then you have whoever who rides for whoever come out, do the same thing you did however long ago, and they get all the whatever credibility, all the props, all the props or whatever.
I'm like, man, I gotta post this shit on Instagram and
and
let them know now.
Then it's like, all right, I gotta,
know.
Yeah, that I mean, I personally, I don't think so yet. Have experienced that, but I know a lot of people that have come to me and complained about that. Like, yo, I did that and whatever. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Right.
But it's just that's the one thing where it's like people go to the back and forth and they don't realize
the things that have been done.
Yeah, and I feel like in our culture that's not really that important, but it does play a little bit of a role depending on.
I think the history. Well, we talk about it a lot here too. It's like some people do the same trick at the same spot for homage. They pay homage.
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I still think that's weird. Sometimes
it depends how it's presented. Right.
Yeah.
If it's not, if it's like you got to figure it out, or if it's like actually stated in their post, like this guy did this trick here, I want to do. I mean,
I remember doing. I think we spoke on this before, but I remember doing that as a young kid. Like I would go to certain spots that stuff had been filmed, say Guyers, and I would do that shit. I would I would try to do the
I'm
tricks that
guilty
they
of it
did.
too, man.
I mean?
Keenan did a nollie big heel at the Banks
Right.
as a single in the Chocolate Tour, I think it was.
So.
No, the first chocolate video.
No,
was it Paco?
Yeah, I think it was
the Paco video.
Yeah.
And I did a line that wound up in a Transworld video with a nollie big heel on the Banks, like paying homage to Keenan because he's someone I grew up looking up to.
Right.
He was the older crew for me, even though he was not that much older. So it was something that I emulated.
Right.
So I get it, but I'm just saying these things occur.
But I never put it out. Like it was like a sponsor me tape. It wasn't something that was like
mine was out. Mine was in a video. Mine was in a video and I was stoked. So,
as you should be. There's nothing wrong with it.
Growing up in New York, what was it like seeing those dudes out and about, like Keenan and and
dude,
there's so many epic skaters coming out of there.
I mean, when I started skating, I started going to the city when I was 13 years old, and I met a lot of people just right away. First guy I met, though, I'm sure you guys know him as Ian Reed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know Ian
He was
Reed,
the first guy I met, and he was I remember him board sliding like this 11-stair rail right across the street from the World Trade Center. It's gold rail that it's in a lot of videos now. Like I think Antonio Durao might have done a trick down the stairs.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
rails.
I know you're talking
You know what I'm talking about? It's got a
Yeah.
little kink. Huff lip slid it a while back.
Yep, and like the front board
Yeah.
and backside flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like a huge, like, you know, old school board from back in the days or whatever.
Carl Aiken's been skating recently too. I think.
Carl Aikens might have done a trick
Okay.
down it too. And he was the first guy I met. And he board slid that rail and I was like, whoa. But after that, it was just, I met everyone at the Brooklyn Banks, like Harold, Keenan, Huff, the Keefe brothers. The list goes on and on, you know, Peter Beasy. I'm trying to think of all the names.
There's probably it's endless.
Ryan Hickey, etc. Like I met all the older guys, and we all, like my generation, all looked up to these guys. Jeff Pang was like, for me, a huge influence. Like he was like a superhero to me. I was like, whoa, that's the dude. But the guy I guess as I got older, the guy who really, I guess, how can I word it?
Mentored or
not mentored, but like.
You had
left an impact.
Yeah.
The guy as I got older who left the impact in my life was Harold Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, that's why. I mean, I know we're moving ahead, but like, when I launched my brand Torro, I started it I launched it on his birthday.
Oh,
just to
wow.
like pay homage, since we're on the subject.
Yeah,
of paying
of
homage.
course,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking
And
legend,
how
bro.
was it? Like, what kind of an impact when you say that? I mean, listen, we all like, you know, knew Harold.
I think
He-
Harold's made an
everything,
impact
but-
on a lot of people.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
he's made an
saying,
impact
though.
on a lot of
Yeah,
people, but
straight
like
up.
I just like one-to-one funny conversations, random freestyle battles, and
Okay.
like just hanging out over time and getting to kind of know each other. It was like having just serious conversations because I was like the little kid. I'm looking up to these older guys, so I had all these questions, right? And
He was ready to school.
He basically was just like, at the end of the day, he was like, just keep. I mean, it's very simple, but to a little kid, it left a big impact. And it was
Right.
like, at the end of the day, just keep skating.
That's it.
That's it. He was like, just keep skating, kid. That's it. And I'm like, for me, it was funny because it was like I had at that moment like an epiphany, like, oh shit, you're right. Like I don't need to like really care about what anyone thinks or what anyone says. And all that is me putting it in my own mind because I don't really know and I don't want to like have that perception or that idea and like be delusional of like that kind of thing. So, and in New York, I mean, a lot of people, they'll tell you to your face if they don't like you. Okay? You know? So it's like, I never got that. So it was like, all right, cool. Like, I get it. I'm just overthinking it. So let me just focus on skating.
I think that's a big. I think that those words live up to today as
Yeah,
well.
for
It's
sure.
like just skate.
Just
you
do
know?
you.
Just do you.
That's it.
There's so many. You know, even parents. Hey, my little kid wants to do. You know, it's just like, well, does he love skating? Like, yeah. Well, let him do his thing.
Yeah.
It's all gonna work out.
Yeah, for
It's
You
sure.
don't overthink it. You know what I mean? There's so many kids that are out there. Oh, how do I get sponsored? What do I
Yeah.
have to do? Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
dude,
Just
play your role as far as
Stay in your lane,
Stay in your
skate.
lane. Yeah, stay in your lane and skate, and that's it.
if you love it,
You know
keep
what I mean?
doing it.
Everybody
man.
will
Yeah.
recognize.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Your
Exactly.
talent,
100%. If you love it, keep doing
Exactly.
it. If it's meant to be, it will be. If not, just you. That's not why you should have done it anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Totally.
have fun and eventually, you know.
I think we came from the generation too. I mean, listen, we all probably made sponsor me videos, or that was just a way, but it was also
for
just
sure.
it was just really genuine too. It was like the people you met, and we all kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
It was super pure.
You know, pure. Thank you. Yeah. Exactly.
Are
I
you
still feel those feelings like from when I first started skating, you know, and it's hard not to like not feel those feelings, you know what I mean? Because it was such a big impact, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? When
for
you
sure.
first really pick it up and you're like really into it, you know what I mean?
There's not you obsess. There's
Yeah.
nothing else like that you want to do, and it's something that like you see yourself doing forever. So it's
Totally.
like, yeah.
I think when we get older, it's harder to obsess over things, or maybe I don't find those things to obsess over.
I don't know, man.
You
I'm
know-
still obsessing.
Are you? No, but
I mean, I love skateboarding is what I'm trying to say.
Totally.
And I do it regardless. I'll
Right.
get hurt. I'll have surgeries. I'll like anything that happens. It's like, that's not going to stop me from skating until I end up like, which I, knock on wood, hopefully I don't, but like Danny Way or someone like that, who's like pushed it so far
right.
that, now he's like searching for a way to get back.
Sure.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So
Totally.
I'm still obsessing.
Well, what I was saying about obsessing was not only skateboarding, but other things that come into your life.
I knew that's what you were.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Like,
right, I'm
like of
lost.
course, no, but for sure. I mean, we all still obsess. I mean, look, we have 3 shows that we do about skateboarding. Like, of course, we're obsessed.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? But like, it's harder to find stuff. Like, okay, I obsess about this show, but like, okay, cool, but there.
Nothing else has fulfilled us in that
Nothing.
sense of like picking up that skateboard,
Right.
and just look at where we are talking about skateboarding.
Just
You know what I'm
talking.
saying?
Well,
Yeah.
you obsess about it, and then you find the other people that are obsessing too, and
Yeah.
that's when it gets
Yeah,
even
yeah.
crazier.
Yeah.
Right.
So it all multiplies. You're like, wow, you found someone that cares just as much
But
as you do.
like for instance, like you found this show.
Sure.
Is it the same as when you? First,
I don't know. It's not.
That's what I'm trying to say.
100%.
So from that essence, I agree with you 1,000%. I haven't found anything that has. I mean, if you want
Fill that void.
fill that void,
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Other than like obviously my wife does, you know what I mean, of meeting a certain individual, but like as far as like picking up like a basketball, nothing can fill that void. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before you guys
being
started
on
skating.
Twitch or whatever the fuck. the case is, you know?
being on Twitch.
You know what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say? It's like there's
100%.
nothing that is really can fucking
Compare.
Compare, right?
Hands
Right.
down, for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree with that 100%,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, skateboarding. you
but
know?
a beautiful thing.
But I mean, like, listen, we're
a hell of a
old
drug.
now. It's like, fuck, we all get into little different interests, you know. Oh,
Yeah.
pick this up, pick
Yeah,
that
yeah,
up.
for
But
sure.
nothing has been like skating.
Everything
you know?
that I have done up until this point in my life has revolved around skating.
Yeah.
Like I did the, whatever, the flow thing, the am thing, the pro thing, the master thing. Then I went on to like judging contests, hosting events,
Right.
doing things of that, producing events, things of that nature, to like starting a brand. Now I'm like the guy filming people, shooting photos, just
Right.
Oh, sick.
everything that I do like revolves around the physical act of skating and everything that embodies it.
Yep.
So it's just like, that's my
Same.
life.
Well, we just know that it's such a beautiful thing, you
Yeah,
know,
for
and like
sure.
we're all like literally blessed to have discovered this thing and been able to travel the world and meet the people that
Yeah.
we would have. I mean, you're sitting here.
I know.
mean,
I can't even believe I'm sitting here right now.
but I mean, like you came,
yeah.
to, you know,
well
like
deserved. Well deserved.
yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
But
it.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Thank
just
you.
world's.
Oh, I had my fist dodger on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
You've been hanging live
I
on the
would
Nine Club?
never try to do that. It's like I'm in the middle, so it's like
I know,
I'm
he's-
trying to go back
he's
and forth.
Come on, Jerron. Come on.
Hey, keep it together.
This fucking guy,
Oh,
huh?
my God.
He's playing ping pong over here.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna do
We
that
all-
again.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. I
think
appreciate that.
We all know what we're saying, man. We,
Yeah.
we love it. And I mean, creating businesses around it and
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
just, bring other people into it or help other people too
Right.
along the way. Just
Right.
like Harold did for you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like I think we've all tried to like mentor, quote unquote, or
sure.
help out people, young kids that are coming up, and you see something and you're like, okay, let me try to help this kid.
The interesting thing is that sometimes, like most of the time, we don't even know that we're doing that. We don't know
This
what
is
kind of
true.
impact we're
Right.
leaving on these kids. So,
Mhm.
I mean, if you can keep it positive and keep it moving, that's like the best thing.
I want to
Right.
say something we talked about earlier. When I first met you, when I was 17 years old, you came to Laguna Hills Skate Park, and I was like, holy shit, Rodney Torres is here. And I was just like, I just knew who he was. And I was like, why? I'm a fan, but like, why are you here? Because I was like in the middle of Laguna Hills, like, it just
At a
wasn't
skate, at a skate park.
Yeah,
It
it
was so
wasn't-
weird.
It was like the biggest skate scene of all time. But I was like, sick, Rodney Torres is here.
Kelly saw your Wheels of Fortune too, bro.
Yeah, that's it. That's
yeah,
it.
honestly,
That was way earlier, yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know what I was doing there. I
Yeah.
think I hailed a cab in New York and somehow wound up there. Like,
Yo, take me
You
back
don't
to
see too many
Queens.
cabs.
I'm
Yeah,
in
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Laguna.
what am I doing here?
What was it? What?
But I want to.
What am I?
I want to say something that like you were being so cool when I met you, and that meant so much to me as a kid, and I was like forever a fan because I got to meet
Thank
you
you,
and you were
Kelly.
super cool. So
Thanks,
thank you for that, and it got me inspired to like keep doing my thing.
Sick.
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
likewise, bro. All you
Yeah.
guys inspire me too. I'm like I said, I'm a fan of the show, and I've been a fan of you guys, and luckily a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the years. So
Yeah, it's
And
just
we say
funny,
the same about you too.
Same
We
thing.
are a big
yeah.
fan and everything. Wheels of Fortune,
but it's
Mobb
crazy.
Deep or
The
something.
little
Yeah,
things
that's
like
what-
that.
dude.
The little things you could just be like super cool at a skate park one day, and forever I'm a fan.
That's
I was like,
exactly what I'm saying. You don't know. You never know like the impact you're gonna leave on someone.
Totally.
Exactly.
And I mean, it happens in just you meet a celebrity and they're a dick. That guy's a dick. Rest of
Forever.
his forever.
Period. Forever.
Yeah.
You know, but
That one interaction, dick.
bro,
Yeah.
for real,
sure.
for real, and especially when you're a little kid too.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And what were you gonna say? Something?
Nah, I'm just waiting to get asked some questions and then keep it moving.
Well,
go ahead. No, all I was gonna say, you helping skateboarding because you even helped like design or build like the Maloof park out there, which is like, I mean, you were literally digging the shit and like raking rocks. And
let me just put this out there. I didn't have to do that at all. It was something I wanted to do because I grew up. I was born in Jamaica, Queens, but I was raised in Flushing, Queens. I grew up skating at Flushing Meadows before that park was what it is.
Right.
I'm not claiming doing the best tricks there or anything like that. Never have. It's just, this is literally where I grew up. This is where I'm from. I can say I was practically born there because my mom has photos of her pregnant hanging out at the Globe with me. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is home. This is home.
This is my spot.
Yeah, exactly. This is my spot. So
You might have been conceived there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine. Imagine.
That's a story.
Then under the grate, I would just, have an apartment.
That's
and
right.
chill.
That's right.
Yeah. No, but yeah, man. Like that's just home base for me.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, I'm not claiming anything.
Great spot, by the way.
Great spot.
amazing.
Legendary
So
spot.
good. And then how did the Maloof thing come about?
Yeah, I was gonna say that like, it was something that I got kind of brought on through Seamus as New York. Like I was riding for them. They had sponsored the Maloof Money Cup. I forget the years, but I was under the impression because I was told that they were gonna shut down the Globe, like from being skatable. They were going to do some repairs underneath or to the pipes or something along those lines. And for me, it was like, it just like hit me different, you know? So I was like, I got to reach out to everybody I know. And I started reaching out to like Canton Russell. He was working for a company called Site Design. I reached out to a woman named Paula who had a not-for-profit called Open Road. And she connected me to Bill Minadio of California Skate Parks. We went to we met, we had a bunch of talks, went to a couple of meetings, got introduced to the Maloofs or Tim McFerrin.
Yep. He was their handler, their guy.
Yeah. And then I just
The middleman.
Yeah.
basically, and then I got thrown in there as the guy from there.
Okay.
So they were, and yeah, it was like they had an interest in the park after looking at the blueprint of the park. This is a perfect place to build a permanent thing. I was like, I want in.
Wow.
I was able to bring in local hires from the community, like a bunch of skaters. Some of them are pretty well known right now, like Sean Powers, Kevin Tierney, people like that. So like
That's dope.
I was able to bring them in to like help out a little bit. You know, they were there for as long as they were. And,
Wow.
yeah, a lot of people just doing the work. Like this guy, one of my longtime friends, Rob Campbell from Queens, he was also working with us.
Amazing.
And this other guy, Dan Carrero, who was pro for Shut Skateboards at one point. Yeah, like just anybody that was interested in doing the work to build this, like the first skate park plaza, basically in
Queens.
In Queens, I would bring in
That's
and
super dope.
they would get paid to work.
Which is amazing because you would think the Maloofs, they got money, they're gonna just build this thing. But you guys have really got your hands dirty.
Yeah,
It's fucking
yeah.
incredible,
I honestly, for me, it was like a blessing. It was the best thing that could have happened to my community because now since then it's bred so many. I'll go to the skate park and I'm just like, damn, like these kids are there's gnarly, they're unreal. Like how the level of talent, you know, and it's because they skate there every day.
When you got something to skate, fucking you're gonna flourish.
That's what I'm saying.
Did I hear this right? Were they were going to tear down the globe in the little pond there?
No, they weren't going to tear it
Okay.
down, but it was just I was under that impression that they were going to shut it down due to repairs. So it was like, okay, they're going to repair this place. Who knows how long? I didn't really understand like what they were going to do, but I was under that impression they were going to tear it down. So I got basically like
you started going crazy.
I got shook, and so I got motivated and started reaching out to people I know.
And so that's the reason why, because of you, essentially, that Maloof Money Cup built the park there and hosted the contest there.
That's my understanding.
Wow.
And Seamus, because I was writing for Zoo at the time, I kind of helped connect those dots as well. Like everyone played a role to that.
100%.
But like I got brought into that picture because I'm there like since the beginning fighting for this,
right there,
for this idea that I had about, they're shutting down my spot. No way. I mean, I had petitions. I was emailing everyone. I was calling everyone. I was like really trying. Like, I don't know what they're gonna
about this. This
yeah,
is not happening on my watch.
Yeah, exactly. not on my watch. Exactly. So yeah.
But not only that though, it's your spot, but it's such an iconic skate spot.
Yeah.
It is like history.
Yeah,
it's
for
crazy.
sure. For sure.
Crazy.
Like,
Great times there.
It's one of the best spots still to this day in New York. I mean, a lot of new, it's New York. It's constant construction and development and things like that happening, and new spots are being built. A lot of indoor parks are popping up and stuff like that. But people still there's still so much that can be done. Yeah. And if you just want to have a good time and skate, good vibes, good people, the community just at that park, it's like. Maybe how Love Park was back in the days, like it would just be jam packed with people,
it's like
things like that.
It's like
or EMB, exactly.
Wow.
So
when exactly is the water on there?
It from my experience, it's usually around U.S. Open time,
where
they the water will go up, and then you'll have about a month and change before they turn it off.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll have the fall right before winter.
I don't think I've ever seen it with water in it.
Nah, me either.
Is it
why would we go there?
No, but I mean, even photos. I can't even picture it with
right.
they have like a little spritzer fountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it just shoots up but people, it doesn't fill up like it used to.
Okay.
It'll just shoot up. It'll get wet in some areas, but you can still skate the ledges and whatnot. Yeah.
Those ledges are kind of tall, dude. I was tripping out
especially for me now.
It's not easy.
They're tall.
And people are now fucking up the ledge over the grate, dude.
The grate.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So many amazing tricks have gone down.
I went there one time. I don't think we really got to skate it though.
Oh no?
No.
You would have
I
fun.
think we were.
Did you at least get Mr. Softy's always there? Did you get ice cream?
I didn't get a Mr. Softy's.
Did you walk around the park and feel the vibe?
Take it all in.
Take it all in. Breathe the air.
One thing that I do wish it's the downhill Manny, the little straight.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that thing looks so fun. Looks hard as shit.
It was kind of weird, right?
Yeah,
but
there's
crack.
There's cracks in it. Like it's just a bunch of granite slabs.
Guys didn't bondo them?
Yeah, so they have. Okay. They've bonded them. Okay. And I saw some video. I wasn't there for it, but John Shanahan propped up one of the slabs and ollied in, and then
that's dope.
Oh,
yeah, I thought that was sick.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It looks fun. Like I said, it looks hard to skate, but it looks fun.
And people are doing tricks up it now too.
Yeah.
Seen
wait, didn't you tray flip nose wheelie?
Down it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the kids I sponsored, Dennis Miron, he backtailed up it pretty sick.
Up it.
Yeah, up it. Like they there used to be a fountain. Like people do tricks down the long six, and then there was a I don't know how much flat before a fountain would start, and that fountain got they created over it somehow.
Oh, really?
They fixed the ground and everything, so it's all flat now.
Wow.
So you have all the runway to hit the ledge going up.
You used to kick that ledge that was right there. You kick it back, tailed it.
Yeah,
that's gone now.
Yeah, that's gone.
Oh,
that
wow.
fountain is gone. Yeah. It's they just created on it or to level it, and so it's just all flat, smooth paved ground too. So if you guys came through, you'd have a good time.
Yeah, I think I took the train there.
A little upgrade.
Yeah, for sure.
I filmed some clips there, but I never ended up using them. I'm kind of bummed. They never ended up being in the video.
Put them out now.
What'd you do?
Throwback Thursday, way back Wednesday,
way back Wednesday.
memory lane Mondays.
You can make it make sense.
Exactly. You can make it make sense.
I nollie big spin flipped the grate, and I never got used.
What?
Yeah, I was super hyped on it, but I didn't for the LRG video. Didn't work
you didn't
in
Tic Tac or anything.
No, I didn't.
That's ABD, Kelly. That's ABD.
Well, this is 2010.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
All right. I was like, fuck.
But yeah.
No, but it's one of those spots you go, you're like, fuck, I really want to get a trick here because it's iconic, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And everything's been done over here, right?
Jerron got clips and right there.
I got a couple clips.
Yeah.
A couple little
Switch
clips.
front three and...
Switch tray?
Switch backside flip.
Switch backside flip.
That's right.
Oh,
Switch tray, I did switch tray, but I did that. I done that too much. So we had to leave that out.
Well, that's sick though.
That's sick. I also 360 flipped. I think you front heeled it. You skate the
grade over the pipe.
Grade over the pipe.
Yeah.
That was way harder to skate than I thought.
That was dope.
I tray flipped that thing, and that was really hard for me to do. That was really scary.
I tray flipped that thing too, man.
Oh yeah,
a while back.
Okay, ABD did.
ABD, son, ABD. That's ABD. That's ABD, Kelly. That is ABD.
I was paying homage, bro.
Thank you, bro. That's the new excuse now, dude. I'm paying homage to you guys.
That's it. That's exactly what you say.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm gonna go do a ledge trick, half cab, no slide, nollie, shove it, heel flip, and say I'm paying homage to Jerome.
At the spot.
At the same spot, for sure. I'm going there after this interview.
So good.
So Queens, growing up in Queens, and then
started going into Manhattan, into the city.
You said when you were 13.
Yeah, I had these two older guys from my neighborhood that kind of took me under their wing. This one guy named Albert and this other guy named Max. They would always go into the city. Hey, you should come down, with us. And I'm like, okay. I asked my parents. They took me on the train. I was like, kind of like a surreal experience at that time.
For sure.
It's just from me on the train to the city, it's like maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there with them, the first spot we went to was the Brooklyn Banks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was like it was just packed with skaters. It was insane.
So crazy.
And we had a little bit of fun, but then when we came back, I was basically hooked. Like I made a couple friends, whatever. But the people that I grew up skating with, my age, then we were just like, fuck it, we're going out there. And that turned into like pretty much an everyday thing.
But they're your age. They're 13?
Yeah, they were like 13.
And you're just going out there solo.
Around 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we were going out there solo. And just the banks at that time too were, I mean, it was like bums lived there. They would come out of the, from under the bridge or whatever.
all the little areas.
Yeah, there'd be like all types of shit at the banks. You would see everything, like all the craze, and but they were cool basically with skating up to a certain point.
Okay.
Because a lot of young hungry kids would be there and they'd stay there like after it got dark. And this is like when these guys come out to chill. Like they'll bring out whatever TV, like
their little
plugs or something,
little barbecue,
a little lawn chair, and they'll just be there chilling, whatever, smoking crack or whatever.
Right.
Doing whatever they're doing.
Right. And
dude, that place is so big. Sorry to interrupt, but like, I was wondering where you always like skate. Did you skate up top or did you skate down below too, where like the banks got super big?
I mean, initially or primarily, it was the little banks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just the up top spot. But then once, but yeah, we'd gravitate back and forth, like our like routine would be like we'd train into the city and then we'd meet at the banks. Didn't have to call nobody, text nobody or whatever.
Everyone's there.
Everyone's there. Meet up with whoever you're, down to skate with and just skate to the, the big banks.
Yeah.
Stay there for a while. Go to Burger King, which is like, we'd go there as kids. We'd buy like a refill cup and like all share it. Just hold on to it all day and share the refill cup. And we'd skate the little plaza across the street from the Burger King, which Stevie and myself had lines there. Like I had a line there in my wheels where I like fakie flipped up a curb and then like fakie like nose grind. You know what I'm talking about?
It has like the metal edges on the
Stevie
side.
did like nollie crook and the chocolate tour part and then nollie front crook.
Yeah.
Was it in the middle of a median or something like
that?
Yeah.
And it was directly across the street from the Burger King that we would like all hang out at and like whatever,
Good ground, good
ledges.
ledges.
It was super fun.
Super
fun.
So you could lose your board here and there.
Yeah, for sure. And then from there, we would go to Water Street, which is like South Street Seaport. And then Water Street's the path that will take you to like pyramid ledges and all that kind of stuff. So we would just kind of gravitate in that area, work our way back to the banks, be there till dark, and then work our way towards Supreme, then down to the up to the Village, and then up to like Midtown and skate. We were just like obsessed kids with skating.
I mean,
going all over the city just skating.
And you have amazing spots to skate.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny though when you're that young too. I mean, even though you're in a big city, Brooklyn Banks, whatever, but you still feel like safe. in this group of skaters.
Of course, that's the best.
Like,
I mean, that's the best thing about skaters
Yeah.
and skateboarding, like the community aspect of it. It's
for
like
sure.
Once you you meet other skaters, you kind of just have that bond
Totally,
and that support. So.
Yeah. I mean, even as a kid, I'd go on missions, take the bus from, and then go here and skate everywhere, down to the beach, courthouse. I mean, literally skating everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is Los Angeles.
It's a big area over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Skating
spread
from the
out,
beach
yeah.
to, I mean, sometimes we jump on the bus.
Dude,
Yeah.
when we came out here, I was like, no, we'll just walk. Literally. And for like 3 days, we were like trying to walk everywhere because we're not too far, I guess. We're like, I mean, maybe walking distance from like my crib to the Globe in the middle of the park. It's probably like a 20-minute, 15, 20-minute walk.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, we're like 30 minutes from Venice. We could walk there. But we learned like
Wait,
from where we're staying in Marina Del Rey.
You got to put the walk thing on.
okay.
It's
Like,
let's really see.
like for example, like we were at some spot just having like breakfast, and some lady saw our dog and was like, "Oh, there's a dog walking park like 10 blocks away," and we're like, "Oh, sick," and we chose to walk there, and it was like, I mean, it was like more like over a mile away, but
Yeah.
that was kind of the last draw for us. It was like, all right, we gotta rent a car.
Yeah.
and just whatever.
I mean, it
But-
depends where, if you're in Los Angeles, it depends where you are also,
Yeah.
right? If you're in Venice and you're going to stick around this area, Marina Del Rey to here is not that far.
Yeah, it's
I've
not.
walked that.
It was funny because we were the only ones on the street.
Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody walks out here.
Well, this is
Yeah,
this
it's
is
like nobody walks out
But
here.
this is a weird thing about Los Angeles. It has this stigma about like public transportation. You see somebody at the bus stop, you're like, the fuck, they don't have a car? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
it's this weird,
Yeah,
it's this weird thing. I mean,
see
it exists.
It does. Like that's the one thing I kind of noticed, like the class difference. It's like it's more visible here
It is,
because it's the
yeah.
same in New York, but it's like way more visible here.
Right.
But I mean, I can't change that.
No,
It
I mean,
is what
it is what it
Yeah,
is.
totally.
Yeah,
But it does exist.
Yeah,
you
totally.
could see it, and people think it.
Yeah,
it
for
is
sure.
one of
And
those
it's necessary. It's needed.
Yeah.
This public transportation is highly needed.
Oh,
Yeah,
Because
for
everybody
sure.
a lot of people don't have the means.
absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely.
So, when you were growing up, you did coming into the city, meeting everybody.
Yeah.
When did you start to get hooked up? Was it by a skate shop or because I heard
Yeah.
Felix discovered you in a weird way, or he helped hook you up with rhythm.
Felix was
Not discovered, but you know what I mean. Like he was.
Felix was my first. Rhythm Skateboards was my first legit. I don't even want to say legitimate because I had other sponsors before that, but
okay.
they were my first big sponsor
Gotcha.
that advertised in magazines, and it was they were the first people to fly me anywhere and things like that. It was all under Felix.
Okay.
But before Rhythm, I rode for a couple of smaller brands. I rode for a company when I was doing the wheels. I rode for a company called Screw Skateboards out of New Jersey. This guy named Bob ran it.
Just Bob.
But before I forgot his last name. Sorry, Bob. Sorry. But yeah, so a lot of people rode for Screw.
Okay.
Jimmy Chung, Anthony Correa, Steve Rodriguez.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
RB.
Excuse me?
RB.
Was that who was that? Was that God?
There he is.
There he is. No, yeah, RB rode for them, RB Umali,
Sick.
and just the list goes on and on. A lot of people you know today rode for that company. Before that, when Zoo started in '93, I was getting Flow, they were flowing me boards when Barker Barrett was on and all those guys, Ricky Oyola and people like that. So I got some love from them, but that was the first company I ever sent sponsor me videos to.
You sent it to Zoo York.
To Zoo York, yeah. That was I sent them a lot of sponsor me videos.
Which, what, every month you would
No. Just whenever I had anything compiled, I would.
Who was your
send it.
hookup there? Were you just sending just out of to an address?
Honestly, it was so long ago. I don't think it was to the address. I think it was to the people because I had met them.
Okay.
Along the line, around the time when I started going to the banks is when I met those guys.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think I just gave someone, maybe Alex Corcoran, someone like that, because he was affiliated or something like that. I remember him telling me they would watch the tapes and be like, "Damn," or whatever, psyched. But for some reason, that was just as far as that went, just a flow thing. and then did the screw thing, filmed the wheels. After that, got some love from a guy who worked for Zoo named Dan Zimmer. He started a thing called Brooklyn Boards, and he had like Aaron Susky, Mike Cardona, rest in peace.
Oh, wow.
Tim O'Connor, I think, was going to get some love from them, myself. But that was short-lived. Like, I feel bad, but like the guy gave me like, I don't know, an 8.5 at the time, or like or something like that. And it was a blank board, and there was nothing, I couldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
I sold it. Okay. And I bought like the size board I needed. You know, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I just came up on some money. It was like, I need a board, so
8.5 would have been perfect for now.
Right.
Yeah,
For now, right.
Dude, back then.
But back then, it was like, especially being a little scrawny kid back then, it didn't work.
7.5 and shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's exactly what I was skating, 7.5.
Yeah.
So, from there, I don't know. It was like trying to do the Zoo thing, but then RB was like, have you ever heard of Felix Arguelles? And I was like, yeah, for sure, definitely. Like, he was like, he wants to give you boards or send you boards. And I was like, what? For real? He's like, yeah. He's like, here's his number. Hit him up. And I was like, just like that? He's like, yeah, hit him up. I was like,
okay.
Oh, all right. Hit him up. And it was just like straight to it. It was like, yo, what's up, man? It's like, I think it was like maybe 97. It was around the time Cinematographer came out, and I had that line paying homage to Keenan, rest in peace. Yeah. It was around that time. I think that's what caught, from my understanding, I think that's what might have caught his interest to like, yo, who's this kid getting boards from, whatever. And next thing you know, I'm on the phone with him, and he's like, we'll send you boards and see how it goes. And that turned into like getting a ton of coverage, and then my first ad. And
so sick.
Yeah, I was stoked.
That's
that was, to this day, that's like one of the companies that I was like, most honored to be a part of.
Dude, Rhythm was dope.
It was dope.
Super dope.
Felix is good at recruiting people, man.
He is.
Yeah.
He's always been really at that eye and really like nurture the situation, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely big him up for that.
Yeah, definitely.
That
much respect and thank you to Felix for sure.
Did you have, because other than the industry section, you didn't really have a video. There was no other video you had a part in.
No, I mean, I had the wheels, the industry thing. It's just been like basically cameo life, to be honest. I never had anyone to fully take me on as a project.
Right.
I've had filmers I've worked with over the years, but it was never something like solidified, like, yo, we're going to do this and we're going to take, whatever, until it happens.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kind of, so being the way I am, I just kind of went in my own direction. I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, I'm going to do what I can, how I can.
But you had access to like RB Malley and different.
Like I said, I was kind of. I said this before we got on camera. Sorry. Okay. With RB, he was working for Zoo York. So right, and like it's not that he's just gonna film those guys, but that was his bread and butter. That's his priority, his obligation.
He can't break off and go do a project with you. He could film you,
right?
But
it wasn't something that it was his responsibility or paying his bills or anything like that. Just like that wheels thing, it was just me tagging along, and some footage got compiled, and then he tells me, yo, we're gonna do a wheels. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, the only thing that I was able to do as far as that's concerned is recommend the song I wanted to skate to, which was that Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
Give Up a Good Song. Yeah. Because that album had just came out, and I was like, This is perfect. Yeah.
Straight up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good choice.
That's seriously, because like I think at that time too, like you were limited on what you can use.
Yeah.
Like they had access to that because it just came out, and probably they were just like, let it go. Like, I don't
dope.
know.
Oh, in that time, it didn't matter what song it was. They were running
that's what I was. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like,
amazing.
oh, did they have access, or did they just rig it somehow? Like make
they
it
ran it for sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
The early ones.
Because they wouldn't have got like, I mean, Mobb Deep is just coming out, so it wouldn't have been like if it was the Rolling Stones or some fucking crazy
Yeah, but that album,
legendary all day. That's
to this day.
To this day. I was actually
rest in peace, Prodigy,
bro.
I was just listening to it on the way here because I just watched your part, and I was like, let me put this shit on.
For real, no, for real. I was making a 90s hip hop playlist.
Nice.
I mean, bro, Dell,
DTC,
like all that shit, like
from
that time,
Gangstar. Mobb Deep, a lot of Mobb, bro. Oh my god,
Cool G Rap.
What issue was that in?
Oh man, that was
Kelly?
14.
Okay,
I was about to say 16, but he might.
I think it was 14.
What issue? 14.
Fucker. I was about to
Wow.
So that's
amazing to have that that
no,
memory, that catalog. I know you're a fan of Formula One for real.
That's literally kind of right when I started watching it because it was, I think 15 was the first one. Okay. So I and
you
plus
backtracked a little bit.
Yeah.
Damn, you did. Let me see.
But
maybe I'm wrong. I'm just like
I want to make sure.
So that was early on.
It was like 1996.
14.
Yeah.
Like,
so they were probably rushing any music. I think it got to a point where they could only use certain shit then.
Yeah, that dude. Damn, that was so long ago.
And then you had to film like, yo, my name's Rodney Torres. Shout out to
that was dope.
Here's a funny story about that. That was RB's first time. After I don't know how long of basically begging everyone to come to Flushing Meadows. Like, you gotta come to the park by my house. It's got 24-hour stadium lights. It's lit.
So nobody was really coming out there.
No, nobody wanted
nobody
to.
Was nobody. It's an hour train ride.
Yeah,
right? What the fuck? They got all the spots here.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone just primarily skated in the city. You know, city's like a playground. So nobody really wanted to come out to Queens. And it was like the one time. It was in the dead of winter. RB comes out. Soon as we get there, the stadium lights turn off.
Oh. Yeah.
And we filmed that. What's up? And he's running in the dark.
Way.
Oh, no
In the
way.
dark without the globe. Yeah.
It would have been so much more dope.
Because you were gonna do it with the glow in the background.
Yes.
That was the whole thing.
That was the whole point.
And it was fucking. They turned.
And it was like midnight, and it turned up. First time ever that happens.
Wow.
And I was like,
you guys go.
fuck it, let's do it anyway. And we did it.
Dude, so no one was skating the spot back then?
No, people were skating it. There were obviously older people, the guys I looked up to and grew up around in that neighborhood that skated there, but nobody had the the drive to try to get.
Who came out first? Who came out really and skated like the?
Honestly, mainstream wise,
Yeah.
I to this day I'm gonna give props to Dill.
Sick.
Really?
He had that line in the World video.
Yes.
Where he heel flips the pipe, nollie back 180s.
Oh, yeah.
Switch 50 180s.
Yeah.
And that is what kind of attracted people, I think.
Wait,
That was Trilogy.
But
Trilogy.
What year's Trilogy?
But prior to that
96.
happening, that was also 96.
Okay.
Prior to that happening, I was like, yo, come out. Getting people to come out. And aside from the issue with RB, people started to come out yo, and then that started spreading. And then,
but once it's also in a video, and then
Yeah.
people see that, they're like,
Yeah,
"What the
yeah.
fuck is that?" Let me look.
but then
Yeah.
it was sick though, because I was psyched. I wasn't there for that, but I was psyched to see it. And then it turned into me starting to go to the park and starting to see more and more people, coming to skate.
Yeah.
That's funny. You call it a park.
It is a park.
I know. But
That's what it is.
I know.
It's literally.
When you say park,
yeah.
though, I'm thinking skate park.
Right.
The park.
Well,
Go to the
yeah.
park. Go to the
They
Stone
call it
Park.
Flushing.
Flushing Meadows Corona Park.
Corona
There
Park.
it is.
Yeah.
Isn't that where they had
It's in between Flushing and Corona, Queens.
Got you.
and
Okay.
the UFO from Men in Black was there too.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought about
Yeah,
that.
the giant roach.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still there.
Still there.
I would trip on that. I was like, yo, that's the fucking skate spot.
There's so many dope movies that have come out with because of the history there. The World's Fair, 1939 World's Fair, the 64 World's Fair. They had a couple World's Fairs there that were so futuristic for their time. They pay homage, or since that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They pay homage to that in so many movies. Like the Iron Man, Captain America movies, and Men in Black and all that stuff. So yeah, it's definitely also a touristy spot.
Right,
but there's so much to do there, so much community based activity to do there.
And they got the tennis stuff there too.
Yeah, they have the U.S. Open
US
there.
Open, right.
Shea Stadium, or now City Field, is there. The Mets play there.
Right, right.
Wait, are you a Mets fan or a Yankees fan?
I'm a New York fan.
Okay.
Don't matter.
I don't know.
Man, kid. I mean, obviously, I can. I'm there. The Mets is home base, but I was from New York, so for me, it's just the New York team. I'm psyched.
That's
That's
funny
dope.
because I'm not like that with LA teams.
No?
I like the Dodgers and Lakers. Clippers, no.
Well,
I'm not a Clipper fan.
I go, but I like the. I like the.
Look, if,
I'm cool with LA
if
teams,
the
yeah.
Clippers are playing like in the the championship, of course I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go for the Clippers. But I'm not a Clipper fan.
What about Rams?
Rams all day.
Okay.
Let's go.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
Yes.
How'd you do? I was gonna say
won.
but that's because I'm here.
We
but
won.
yeah.
We won. I'm
Yeah.
not an
Yeah.
upset fan.
Okay,
either.
okay.
Yeah.
It was
Sick.
hard with sports. Really quick, total sidebar. We didn't have a team for the longest time.
For
It was
football.
Like for football.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like Raiders, and then I used to go to Raiders game with my dad, and like.
Well,
nothing.
Rams were here too back then.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like nothing for the longest time, you know. So I kind of like fell off of football.
Same.
I was like, dude, I don't have anybody to root for.
Yeah.
What am I in San Diego? What am I gonna do? The SF? Like we don't have anything.
Yeah.
So
Root for yourself, man.
that's what I do every day. You know, every day I
Yeah.
wake up, I
Yeah,
cheer.
that's it.
you know?
It's like that's it. Fist pump.
Go Crub, go Crub. Yeah, I'm drinking my Athletic Greens. Go. So
Yeah. So
Flushings,
Yeah, Flushing.
iconic, bro.
To go, more into what you asked me about Mets or Yankees.
Oh yeah.
Growing up, I was like before I started skating, I played baseball. I was in like the Flushing Little League, and I was into it. I wanted to be a catcher, like Gary Carter from
Oh,
New York
wow.
Mets. At that time, I was like, I want to do that. But as soon as I started skating, or I found skating, I was like, it just went in a completely different direction. Like when I found skating, it was just like a kid in my I always had a skateboard growing up, ninja boards or whatever, little wooden
Oh
boards.
yeah.
I always had those boards growing up, and I would mess around with some friends in the neighborhood. But then what got me hooked was when I saw this kid, his name's Ricky, ride just down the block and ollie up a curb.
That was it.
That was it. I ran to that kid. I stopped him, and I was like, how did you do that?
Yes, I-
That was amazing. And he was like, oh, here. He actually stopped what he was doing. I don't know where he was going, his agenda or, whatever. He lived around the corner from where I live. And he was like, yeah, he stopped to teach me how to ollie that
That's
day.
sick.
There you go.
And I
Wow.
learned that day, but, I put the wheel on a crack
Yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
kept the board stationary.
For
Learned how to
sure.
ollie and was hooked. I begged my parents the next day to buy me a complete, and that's
The
rest is
it's a
history.
wrap.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it was a wrap after that for
Yeah.
sure.
By the way, man, catcher's a weird position to want to play. It's a weird, you know what I mean? Usually
Dude,
it's like
that's
first
amazing.
base, third,
That-
outfield.
that's
I mean,
a hard one.
I tried all of that. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, for the short-lived time,
you have to
I had
learn
in
the hand signals and the things.
Yeah,
and the, you know.
I tried. I mean,
Okay.
I haven't played baseball since then,
Right.
but I might while I'm here. Why not?
Isn't that funny? I feel like we've had a couple people on the show that is like, I've seen a guy ollie up a curb.
Yeah.
And that was it. They
Yeah.
had to get one.
But that's funny. Like when I first started skating too, is when you realize there's wait. I've had this in my garage for a year. You can do tricks with this thing.
Yeah.
And seeing the possibility
Exactly.
there, and your mind starts going crazy about what you could do.
For sure.
Yeah,
That's kinda why it
that's
started.
kind of how it was. It was just this big eye opener. Like, what?
Yeah.
I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
That to me was like magic at the time, So,
Wow.
yeah, he taught me. Got the, my first real skateboard from like the mall in the neighborhood, and they had a skate shop in the front. My dad bought me I think it was a Black Label Lucero.
Oh, wow.
With toxic wheels and gold wing trucks.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and it had some Joker on it.
Yeah.
I was like,
That was a legendary graphic.
I was like, this is amazing. I didn't know anything about it. I picked it for the graphics.
Sure,
I was
sure,
like,
sure.
This is sick. I
Right.
want that one.
Those are the ones that still, not that graphics don't stand out these days, but particular in the, I say, late 80s and early, there was really some dope graphics that you're
Yeah.
just like, whoa.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you would pick it just off, like you said, just off the graphic.
Yeah, I had that board for a minute, and then I don't know, just was hooked.
Yeah.
Lived and breathed skateboarding until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were the first videos or magazines that really stood out to you?
The first video that I saw was Ban This.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that was the first video I saw, and
How long did you? What age did you start skating?
I started skating. It was 1990. I think I must have been maybe 11
Okay.
around
That's
that
sick.
time.
Because Bandits came out probably
like
I'd say
89.
89, 88.
Yeah.
Give or take.
I saw a lot of videos. I mean, late. I saw
Yeah.
that. I went kind of backwards when I started seeing videos What else did I see after that? I started to see, like Shackle Me Not, and then went on to like Hocus Pocus, and started seeing like watching Future Primitive and all that stuff. Just kind of like it was mixed, but I was like learning.
You're taking it all in.
I was taking it all in, studying the culture.
Yeah,
amazing.
And just like
it's like you want to see all that. What other video can I see? Like,
I was watching Skate TV and all that stuff. I was just like, I was just so like, consumed by it.
That was a cool show at the time, man. I remember I always
Skate
wanted to
Master
watch
Tate.
it, and I never be able to catch it for some reason. I'm like, how do I watch this? Seriously.
No DVR.
No.
What was it on?
Yeah.
Do you know what was on? Like what channel?
Wasn't it MTV?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was MTV. It was like some
I thought it was
access, like it was like an independent channel.
Public
access. Like it was one of those, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what time is it on? Like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember seeing that show and being like, this is so sick. Like, just how do I want to do this?
Yeah.
Right.
And
He's one of the dudes from fucking God. He's like a host on MTV, but he did that early on before the MTV gig. I forget his name.
Peter King? No.
Is he like an actor now?
He's an actor.
He's been numerous
Scream
movies and all that.
Scream movies, been in Scream.
Yeah. I forget his name.
Yeah, he's one of those character actors.
But,
he's like been in a lot of shit, but you're like, who is it?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's sick. It's sick to like have grown up in that time and just learn about skating, fall in love with it, and still doing it. I just feel blessed.
It's crazy.
Did your parents trip out that you were skating at all? Or were they supportive?
Well, my dad, they were supportive. To answer the question, yes, my parents were supportive. My dad was a soccer player, and in his time, he got coverage. He played for teams, like that kind of thing. And I guess he wanted me to follow in his footsteps. Right. But what I did take from that was like the athlete kind of thing. Like, I'm doing a sport. I'm just not doing what you're doing.
Sure.
And I tried a bunch. I tried soccer. I tried football. I tried basketball, baseball. Real young, obviously, but it just didn't it didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
And then with skating, it was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
I often wonder, because I think we all did the little baseball thing and everything. I'm like, damn, if I never picked up skating, like what would I have kept going with?
Same.
You'd be a talk show host.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Weird.
I mean, you got the voice for it. You got the voice for it.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's the structure of what's behind the team sport. What kind of got me fucked up, but it's also a coach. If you have a fucked up coach that doesn't really build you and like really tries to break you down, that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Some people that does work for, and that's great. But I think that was the turn off for me. I was like, I was good enough to make the basketball team, right? But the coach, it didn't work out. And to be honest, I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I'm skating anyways. Like,
But so you didn't enjoy. That means you enjoyed it. Playing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but he deterred me from, you know what I mean? And luckily, I had skateboarding to kind of be like, I love this more than I love this anyway, so it's all good.
And the other thing too is
if your heart's not fully in it, then
Totally.
It's so structured, those sports. Like, hey, you got to at 4:00, you got to be here for an hour every day after school. And you have to practice. You're like, dude,
practice.
I want to skate on my own time when I want to.
And I would be going to skate right after school on my time when I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Not when fucking, it's time to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's funny. That kind of thing still, plays a role now in my life, and I think a lot of skateboarders' lives. It's like any kind of, when it's like controlled, you know what I mean? It's like you have someone over your shoulder, and it's like you don't feel what you're supposed to feel from skating, like that sense of freedom,
right?
In that moment, you're just like focused on what you want to be doing,
totally,
instead of being told to do something and forced to do something.
For sure.
Everyone needs a certain amount of structure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. That's just how we live. But to skaters coming up, especially little kids, that's something that I don't think is that healthy. I don't know.
For sure.
Sure.
I agree.
Sure. Love skateboarding. So throughout,
well, you got on Rhythm.
Yeah.
And that was like your first kind of big break, right?
Yeah, that was like my first big break. I got on Rhythm through Felix. Like I said, I had other sponsors prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just to backtrack, I'm like all over the place with all this stuff. My first like sponsor, any kind of like anything that I got for free, was Greg Carroll
Yes.
of Venture Trucks.
Okay.
Like when he was the team manager, that was like
Hell
the
yeah.
first thing, and then that turned into Justin Williams.
Oh, yep.
Like over time.
Yep.
I mean, but that was like my first truck sponsor. Now I get stuff thanks to Joey Trichet and Shrugi. I get stuff from Ace.
Okay.
But that was my like first like tangible physical thing where I was like, whoa, I'm getting something free.
Is that the coolest?
Right? Like from
Man.
someone like I don't really know, and like that works for something that
And
I've
it's a
known
big
of,
company.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah.
Well, how did they know to send you anything?
I was skating. I skated with Greg. I met him. I skated with him. He told me he wanted to send me stuff. That's how like as organic as it was.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know? So I
Right,
thought that
right.
was cool. So shout out to Greg Carroll.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Shout out Greg Carroll.
And to Justin Williams, of course.
Oh,
yeah,
hell
so
yeah.
straight up.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, those are the first. I had a bunch of different board sponsors. Felix was the first big sponsor. And have you guys? Before that, also sorry, backtracking again. I rode for Simple Shoes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Through Alex Goldberg.
Okay.
He hooked me up with shoes. That was my first shoe sponsor. Then after some time, JP Lots was working for NSS. It was nice skate shoes. Vinny
yep.
Ponte was on.
Yep.
Danny Supa, myself, Andre Page, like just a handful of people. Airto Jackson. And yeah, I don't know. I got shoes from them for a while. And then after that was Osiris. Yeah,
right.
Ken Russell hit me up, and they were kind of revamping or trying to like build their AM team while I was on Rhythm, and he was on Planet Earth. I was on Rhythm, so to me it just kind of made sense. It was a good opportunity, and yeah, I jumped on board,
Amazing.
and that was awesome. To be
Yeah.
honest, that was like the biggest like thing I've ever been a part of, where we
right.
were like doing these like global tours and whatnot. Like I did it with them, like me personally, I went on a bunch of US tours, and then we went on a Euro tour, Aftermath Euro tour,
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
which was awesome. Pastures was our team manager, so it was just sick. We got to skate with
That's
like,
dope.
God.
you know what I mean? It was, I thought
so
it
you
was
got
dope.
on when Pastris started becoming the team
Well,
manager?
that was later
That was
on.
later.
First,
Okay,
first
okay.
it was Pat Simpson and
Mm.
Lisa DeLellis.
Okay.
Mark DeLellis, aka Shakas,
Mm-hmm.
who was a filmer, his sister. Rest in peace, Shakas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was those two, like, how that kind of was, and then Chris Pastures came aboard.
Okay.
Wow, that was crazy. You were like was it Gio Moya?
Yeah,
He would
dude,
have
that's my dude.
Yeah.
That's like that's literally like family.
That's
for me.
awesome.
Like we, I had so many crews growing up. Like the first crew was me and this other Rodney Cooper. He was, and my boy Rudy Cepeda, and this other guy, Homie Diaz, right?
Homie.
You know,
Oh,
Homie.
yeah.
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 He like later on worked for DC, and
Days.
now he's doing his own thing. But
Sick.
yeah, like we all grew up skating together. Homie was like the best skater out of all of us, and like we all looked up to him because of how good he was. But Rodney Cooper was the first one to get sponsored, and the first person that he got sponsored by was 6040 by Mark Gonzalez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was like how for a long time I was getting like boards. Like,
Yeah.
he was like hooking me up.
Like he was your sponsor.
basically. Yeah.
That's what you said in your rookie, or not rookies, your Wheels of Fortune, right? You're like,
Yeah.
you're like
60-40 buddies.
Yeah.
Because like it was just kind of at that time like a hope to be on the same team with someone I grew up skating with. You know what I
Right,
mean? But
right.
like I don't know. We all kind of went in our own directions like over time, but like Moya was like a part of that crew as well. Like he came a little later, but once everyone went their separate ways, it was like me and Moya were like Batman and Robin. We were just like he's a little bit older than me, but so I don't want to tell you who's Batman or who's Robin. but like we literally were like the guys going everywhere, all over the city, like the dynamic duo. Just like
Right.
everywhere we went, we were like skating, filming, whatever. Then I went out to SF for the first time. This must have been like 95, I think. Met Airto Jackson. And then later on, he came to New York, and then it was just adding more to like our little squad, you know. Then we had our Mike Wright was also with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, shortly after that, I met Scam too. Like he when I was on Rhythm, I met Scam, and he was a part of our crew as well.
Okay.
So it's just like all these just all these little crews that I still have relationships with from the beginning.
I love that.
You know, and to this day I skate with all of them, talk to all of them, like whatever, like
all tied through skateboarding.
Yeah, it's all tied through skateboarding, which is dope. But yeah, Gio is my dude.
I remember seeing you two, specifically you two in New York, skating for Osiris, and like everyone was
on Osiris with me.
It was like everyone was San Diego, and they had both of you guys in New York, which I thought was super dope.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Osiris was like the biggest sponsor, shoe sponsor, and all that I ever had. It was a good experience for what it was. Like I ultimately, like over time, I wound up getting hurt, messed up. Like I hurt my knee, and I had to get surgery. So I was kind of out of the game for like 8 to 10 months roughly. Okay. But in that time, like it was just a different time, you know. Like I don't have any hard feelings towards anybody, but just like anything in life, if you don't work, you don't get paid. So over time, it was just like getting demoted until finally it just fizzled out, like my affiliation with them. So
right.
It is what it is, you know.
It happens. Especially back then too. Yeah. It was But
it was a good run either way. Like in that sense, like I said, I have no personal issues with any of those people.
Well, I feel like I
made a lot of good friends. Ken Russell, Dave Mayhew, etc. Like just a lot of good friends.
We got to get Canton on the show.
Oh,
bro.
definitely.
Yeah.
That guy's behind a lot of amazing things going on in skateboarding to this day. You know?
Not only that,
he's helped out so many people, and he's also like built so many parks, plazas. He's just, he's helped me out. He's helped out a lot of people, and I'm just a
big fan.
Yeah,
and
always he's done some of the most amazing skateboarding.
Gosh,
yeah,
some stunts.
Very, very impactful.
But like he could get tech too. You know?
I know.
He could do like the backsmith flips out and all that stuff. Like,
I think he was the first one I ever saw do that. It's like way back.
Troubleshooters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Celentani, right?
Doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to all those SD homies. Like for me, that was my like family.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So.
When you were like getting sponsored by like Osiris, listen, Osiris is great. I always say that one of the biggest perks about skateboarding is the traveling aspect of it. So just being with them and being able to like, do Euro tours and stuff like that, it's amazing. But you Rhythm, you wanted to get on Zoo York. Was there like a thing where you wanted to like be on East Coast companies?
Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
But, or was there like this West Coast like thing where because the industry kind of lived in the West Coast also. So it was like you're making this like cross country.
Well, I had the experience through Felix, thanks to Felix. And he's like got East Coast roots, you know what I mean? And so that, knowing that and I guess respecting that and appreciating that, that's something that like it made that easier. I guess
I guess what you're saying, for sure.
And but yeah, to answer your question, I always wanted to do something to represent like where I'm from and my community, which is what led me to start my own brand ultimately. Like I got to ride for Zoo, I got to do that, and like that was cool. I have nothing against any of those people. I even like there was a time where like I don't know. I just thought that would like never happen because it's really what I wanted. Like being a kid from New York, looking up to this big brand and all that. And when it finally happened, I was like, this is dope. Like I'm happy to be a part of it at this time. Right. So that I had that experience, and then that turned into transitioning into creating my own. Right. And doing something along the lines of like what I believe in and what I want to support. You know what I mean?
Love that. Yeah. So, Zoo York. How did that thing? How long were you on Zoo York for?
A couple of years. There was like a time. So the sponsors I had was Rhythm, and then that turned into Zoo briefly. Literally like in and out. Then because I chose to ride with Gio Moya and like Bobby Pulio, Ben Liversays, Jamal Williams, Ian Reed, Andy Batista, Nikhil there, like on Infamous Skateboards. They had just put out a video, and I thought it was sick. And it was more like to me, it was just more of a small grassroots thing that I believed in. And the name Infamous, Mobb Deep, come on. So like, I was like, this is more of the underdog.
Right.
And I don't know, I guess I just gravitated to that more, to that idea, and I gravitated to them more. I skated with them all the time.
It's a big thing when you skate with those people.
Yeah, so it just felt just natural.
So did you leave Zoo York, or was
I did. I was on like,
because they had different iterations of Zoo York too.
Yeah. It was right before, like, I guess Echo came in. It was right before. I think it was while that was happening. I did not know.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me,
Gotcha.
I guess. But it was still a choice I made because I believed in that choice. And it was just like a quick transition. You know, I got on, and then it was like, no, I'm not. At this point, I'm just like not comfortable with this. So. And they understood, no hard feelings. It was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Went on to ride for Infamous, and that lasted like, honestly, like a year.
That's it.
Yeah. Like the guys who owned the brand, I'm not trying to talk shit about nobody, and I'm not going to. They just they weren't skateboarders. That's all I'll say. So they didn't really, and I think that that's important when it comes to
a skateboarding brand.
Skateboarding brand.
Yeah.
It's just like 1 + 1 = 2. It's very basic, easy to understand.
For sure.
Definitely.
And so these guys they didn't know skateboarding. That was like something I wasn't like fully aware of until I got in there. And
it's so weird because like on the outside looking in, you're not aware of that. I mean, they have all these like incredible skateboarders. It looks like the team.
Yeah.
And then you find out later that like it's not even run by skateboarders.
It's not what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Like I was kind of, just under my own like impression of it until that happened.
Right.
And then I started, trying to work with them, trying to talk to them, and I guess they just weren't really seeing eye to eye with the skaters. Like I wasn't pro on there. It was, from Rhythm to Zoo to Infamous, all that was like, those conversations were had, but at Infamous, it was like those guys weren't really relating to the skaters at all on that level.
Which, if you have a skateboard company, you should be listening to the skateboarders that are that's crazy.
Right. It was just a weird thing, but I thought it was sick for what it was looking at it from the outside.
That's what I'm saying. Outside looking in, it's like totally different. You have this different, view of it. But and so did that thing just dissolve on its own, or did you leave?
I decided to leave.
You decided to leave. When the Arcade came in.
Trust me, I don't like quitters. Okay. And I'm not trying. And I'm not.
No, but if it's
quitter.
not,
I'm someone who's OD loyal. If it's right, right, you know what I mean. Like if it's gonna be something shady, something that doesn't vibe with me and doesn't work with what I believe in, stand for, want to do with what I'm doing,
right?
Then we don't work together. It does not match.
For sure.
So
100%.
it's just something that I just had to part ways with. And I wound up getting hurt, I think, around that time, like my knee, and I was out for a while after that. And
so those guys are definitely not going to be understanding to that.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like, I think I had left right. It was like around that time. Like it wasn't because of that.
Right.
It was just like we were not seeing eye.
So did you, when you hurt your knee after that, you had left Infamous, you hurt your knee.
I was getting like demoted from Osiris and like the other
right.
I rode for LRG at one time too.
It must have been early on then, right?
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah.
We had a couple of, like, I had an ad with everyone, with like
sick.
the squad at the time, Rob G and Carl and all that. I'm trying to remember all the people I was affiliated with and had ads with and stuff like that. But so I had like all these little things I was affiliated with that were cool, but some things just didn't really resonate with me at that point in time.
I get you. It's hard, man. Skateboard industry is an interesting, intricate, difficult thing to navigate sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. You're trying to find your way.
Right.
And you're trying to find people that really believe in like what you're doing, who you are as a person, what you're doing, what you stand for, and what they believe you're, I don't know, capable of. Right?
Sure.
You want that support. And if you're not really getting that,
right,
why are you there? Why are you even fucking with them to begin with?
Exactly.
You know? So
exactly.
That led to just healing from a knee injury, and trying to get back on my feet.
Right.
And as that was happening, I got involved with Official Skateboards,
Okay.
which initially started as a website called metrospective.com.
Okay.
Wow.
And that website was actually getting a lot of attention and traction and whatnot. And they got to a point where they're like, we want to, turn this into a hard goods brand. And I'm just getting back on my board. And they're like, dude, you're the guy. And I was like, okay. They're like, we don't want to do this without you. These two buddies I've known for a long time.
Okay.
Like I grew up skating around them. They were the older guys.
Got you.
So I was like, what do I got to lose? I'm down. Let's do it. And it actually turned into something that was compared to Girl and Chocolate of New York at that point in time.
Got you.
The company was short-lived. It lasted only a couple of years, but in that time, like we were able to support and like be the guys in New York and support the guys who are now the guys in New York, like Yaje Popson.
Yeah, man.
Louis Tolentino wrote for us. And like, it was just, we were that like real New York brand at that time.
I love that.
And I thought that was sick. And I was like happy to be a part of it for the time that it lasted.
Super.
2 years is quick.
It is quick.
It's quick.
But in 2 years, a lot happened. Like, I mean, for I guess you could say for a small brand, a lot happened. Like
Right.
there was like a big buzz behind what we were doing. But, with life, just things happen and eventually people end up feeling certain ways, doing certain things, making certain moves that where that didn't, that ended.
Did the whole thing just end?
No,
Or
they
just
I wound up leaving. Lewis wound up leaving.
Okay.
German Yves was on it.
German.
He wound up leaving.
man.
Like all,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
like basically like my guys there. We all just kind of dipped.
Right.
We were like, on to the next. We appreciated our time there, of course, and it was just on to the next. Everyone kind of did their own thing. From there is when from Official, is when I was like, was it
Arcade.
Yeah, was it Arcade or was Arcade before Official?
I was gonna say I thought Arcade. I thought Arcade was before Official.
Probably no,
But I could be wrong though.
no, I think you're
don't
right.
know.
Damn, I'm lost over here,
Because
burnt out.
Arcade.
2 hours is a long time.
No, for real.
It was Rhythm, Infamous, Arcade. I forgot Arcade.
Because-
Official, and then I was just like over it after Official for a minute,
Okay.
and then Zoo, and now
Wait. You went. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. It went Zoo. Wait, you went back to Zoo?
Well, I wound up. Seamus wound up having I wound up having a meeting with Seamus, and we
Okay.
talked about being a part of their masters division. At this point, this was around the Maloof time and everything, and I was totally down.
Okay.
I'm older at that point, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, this sounds sick. They had Kevin Taylor, myself, and Donnie Barley as the team of and I was like, yeah, I'm with it. I think they were gonna bring on Susky and maybe Zared at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened with that. That lasted about 2 years. Also,
2 years.
but in
Seems
that,
like two's the magic number.
yeah, 2's the magic number. I know. You would think,
Fuck.
right?
But let's not skip. Okay, real quick. Let's not skip over Arcade
Yeah,
because Arcade
oh
was
my
great.
God.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jason Rogers.
Yeah.
They had Malcolm
for sure.
Watson, Joey. I mean,
Sad JP.
Sad JP.
I was just skating with JP at the beach the other
Really?
day. Yeah, and Joey.
Fuck, bro.
Well, I wasn't skating. I was filming them.
Oh, okay.
That dude Brian London.
Brian London?
That dude was
Amazing.
gnarly.
Steve Hernandez.
Casey Rigney
Yeah,
was
Casey Rigney.
Yep.
Low key the best
So sick,
skateboarder
bro.
ever.
I know, right?
Insane. He ended
Straight
up
up.
going on to Circus du Soleil and doing some shit.
Yeah,
in
I
there
went to
too.
see him at Cirque
Did
du
you?
Soleil in New York. Yeah, amazing.
Did he get you
They had him
tickets?
like,
Yeah, I was
like-
like, what is he doing?
like the opening act was just like all the talent, like the people on unicycles, people with hula hoops,
Right.
people doing cartwheels, dancing, whatever they're doing.
There comes a skateboarder.
But there was like a wedge or a pyramid, like wedge to wedge, ollie it, 180 it, kick flip it. I was like, no way, this guy's.
That's it.
In it.
But he's like,
Gnarly.
he was like, he had some sort of, he was dressed up in something. I don't
Okay.
know.
He had an
He was-
outfit on.
Yeah, he had an outfit on. He
Right,
was
right.
like not just like dressed normal.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure to be. Hey, ollie this.
Oh, and I'm sure there's music and lights going and like crazy shit,
It
like
was like
elephants, you know, like
Well,
fucking.
I didn't see any elephants, but
They do that.
I mean, it's a circus.
Yeah.
yeah, but this was
Clowns.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Okay.
all of that, but I think this part of it was like all of their, like kind of like action sports. Kind
Okay.
of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You
Got
know, there's
you.
guys on bikes.
Got
You know,
you.
Someone on a tight wire somewhere or something like that, or tightrope.
maybe I didn't see that. Either.
People flying out of cannons and shit.
Did Casey fly out of it? Maybe
That'd be amazing.
that would be amazing. No, he was just like
Acid
ollieing
drop out of a
the
cannon.
wedge to wedge, kick flipping it.
So
That's basically
sick.
like all he did.
Kickflip
180
first try.
Yeah,
Get him.
first tee. I know. I was like opening act first.
Well, he
try?
knew you were there. He couldn't mess up.
That's true.
That's
a lot of-
crazy though. That's like
It
your
is.
only job is that.
I know.
Yeah.
Just that
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy.
Like
He
your
traveled
whole-
around with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Casey's the man.
Casey
I
Reed.
love that.
Shout
guy.
out,
So good,
listen, a
bro.
lot of people, courthouse stage, got to say it, nollie heel, nose wheelie on
all
that
day.
thing. I mean, back
It's like 2005 or something.
back
nuts.
then
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
maybe somebody would nollie nose wheelie it. Fakey ollie nose, fakey ollie, fakey man. You know what I mean?
That
Like
thing's tall too.
nollie heel
Yeah.
nose wheelie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between
At
that trick
Flushing
and
Meadows.
Kelly's trick are pretty. That's top tier right there.
I-
Top tier.
Hey, not to throw, dude. Nick Tucker, just saying this real quick,
Oh,
has
Nick
done
Tucker
some
too. The tray flip. nose
Yeah.
wheelie.
Oh,
switch
yeah.
inward heel flip, switch manual.
That's crazy.
Switch inward heel, switch
I have,
manual.
like,
When did
I
he
don't
do
even know
that?
what to say
in that,
about any
in that
of
primitive
insane.
part a while back.
Yeah.
Switch inward heel flip fakey man.
Switch manual.
Why did I
Either
fucking-
way, though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
still,
Why did I miss
like,
that?
yeah. Either way, that's
I
crazy.
think
He's
the
done a
other
lot.
trick probably overshadowed, and maybe I just didn't think. But that's fucking fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fucking fucked.
Fucking fuck.
Gotta say it's fucking fucked.
But Arcade was awesome. I
Yeah,
really
I-
liked Arcade. I mean,
Yes.
the Who video.
Yeah, yeah.
Who,
I thought Arcade
um,
was sick too, man. I was like, it was something that I was like uncertain about doing. Because-
Really?
Yeah, because I was on Osiris
Okay.
at the time, and yeah, I was like kind of like in some weird just limbo with board sponsors.
And again,
I
this was after Infamous.
yes,
So it wasn't worked out.
Rhythm Zoo for briefly,
Right.
Infamous, Arcade,
then official.
official,
Then Zoo.
then Zoo. Yeah.
Right. Then
Yeah.
back to Arcade.
Wow.
No,
Back to Zoo.
I know
Yeah,
it's,
they
it's a
keep
lot. It's just
No,
a
we
lot
just
of
we
time
got our
and-
timeline,
yeah, the timeline's
skewed a little bit, but-
right.
but why weren't you? What was the deal with that? Why weren't you?
I just was I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Like it was kind of financed or whatever by oh my god, I'm
Osiris.
getting sponsored
yeah.
by Osiris that, you know,
Oh,
It was
And,
all
uh,
in the same
that's
place,
right.
right?
it was all out of the
Yeah.
same building, and it wasn't like something that was you know how like with certain brands nowadays it's like if you ride for, let's say, maybe Girl Chocolate, you'll have to get on Lakai,
Sure, sure.
something like that. It wasn't like that. It was just
Right.
this company is making a lot of money. This company is getting funded by this big company.
Right.
I just was like, at the beginning, I was uncomfortable with that. I was like, I don't know. It's kind of like I'm just throwing all my eggs in one basket. I was
could see
unsure.
that. I could see
Yeah.
that.
For sure.
But Retta was Retta was the final like thing. Like I was in this weird limbo, and we were out skating, trying to get photos and whatnot.
What did Reddit
He
say?
just like yelled at me basically.
Okay.
Yeah, he just lost it and was like basically making me realize I have this opportunity and you shouldn't let it pass you by.
Okay.
That's the gist of it. But in Retta ways,
Yeah.
which is just him like, come on, yo, you know, like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
yelling.
yeah.
And I'm like, all right. He was like, I'm gonna call him. He ends up calling him. And
Jason Rogers.
Yes, and passes me the phone, and I'm to make it happen. And Jason had been for a while putting that option out there, like, hey
Okay.
man, we want to put you on, want to give you a board,
Wow.
you know, whatever. And I had a lot of respect for Jason. I stayed with him with Moya in San Diego, and like we just all vibed. And I thought what he was doing with Arcade was sick. And I'm friends with Joey, and I'm friends with JP, and like befriended all the other guys.
Sure.
Malcolm and Sad, and you know the whole squad. Daniel Haney.
Oh, Dan,
And-
Dan Real Haney.
Yeah, Dan Real.
Yeah, Dan Real.
And so it was a no-brainer, but I just was clouded by that idea of like, I'm throwing all my eggs in one basket. It's risky.
Yeah.
And, you know, Retta was the big eye-opener for me, and it wound up being a good thing. But yeah, that, you know, that was short-lived because that's when I hurt my knee.
That's when you hurt
Oh,
your knee.
damn.
Wait, was there when you were unsure about Arcade, was there something else that you were looking at the time or wanted to skate for?
No, to be honest, I was at a point where like I didn't like know. I was at that point where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna like figure it out on my own. Like that for me has always kind of been a thing. Like I just gotta try to figure this out on my own. Like,
well,
because I feel like there was too much I don't know, there's too much bullshit. That's just the fact of the matter. There was too much bullshit that I was dealing with that I was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this shit.
Right.
Like I honestly am in this like limbo. Like I want to keep skating, period. But I don't know if I want to keep dealing with all this kind of stuff. Right. And I didn't have any like other prospects. I was just kind of floating around.
Yeah.
And Jason had, believed in me. Like just from meeting me, skating with me, and was like, yo, like we vibed, we laughed.
He's great.
Around.
He's great. Yeah.
Funny guy, full of a lot of like cool ideas. And I vibed with him and the squad and was like, let's do this. And I'm like, okay. It took Retta for me to pull the trigger.
I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
And I think that, because let's go back in time to when Arcade was. What year was that? That was 2000 something.
Yeah, when I got on, it was like 2001 maybe.
2001. Let's go back to that time. There weren't, and Retta is kind of right, though. There wasn't that many companies around that you have choices. Yeah. Like it's like these are the companies here.
Looking back, I mean I totally agree with that, and I totally saw that, and I appreciate Retta to this day for that.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't for him, who knows, but like that was such a, and the rad thing about it too is going from like, as much bullshit as I've dealt with, going from skater-owned company to skater-owned company, from like, to me, legitimate dudes like Felix to J-Raj, I thought that holds a lot. I think that to this day holds a lot of weight.
Sure. It does.
It
does. And you were coming from Infamous, who that wasn't the case.
Right. It was not the case. Like the squad was dope. Like I still I still fuck with all those guys to this day.
Shout out those
guys. Those are my guys. But like it was just something that, looking back, was just a huge eye opener.
Yeah, it's interesting. Back then, there weren't that many companies. There weren't.
And same with Official. Those were guys I grew up around skating that wanted to do something, new.
Right.
And I was like, that's what I gravitate toward. I think that's really cool to do something like that.
So when all that stuff was said and done, what happened with Arcade, by the way? Was it the knee thing that was?
Well, yeah, primarily. And then they, I don't know what happened on the back end. Like you'd have to talk to J-Raj about that. But that fizzled away. Okay. Like the brand.
Got you.
And then everyone just kind of went there.
So you didn't end up leaving or anything, or
no, I just got hurt. It was
with the brand. Fizzling.
Okay. Yeah, I just got hurt. Was recovering from knee surgery, and the brand was like fizzling away.
Back then too, man. Knee surgeries.
Well, it wasn't like it wasn't like ACL or MCL or PCL or nothing.
What was it?
I literally banged my kneecap on the like edge of a granite ledge.
Oh, bro, I did that shit.
And I chipped a piece of cartilage behind my patella.
You hit it so hard that it chipped behind the kneecap.
Yes, my knee swelled up and turned like almost black. That's how purple it was.
Fucking hurt so bad.
Wow.
And then when it healed, I thought I was going to be good. I was totally taking care of it, icing it, elevating, everything I had to do, ace bandage, whatever. Just taking care of myself. When I finally started attempting to walk, it was fine. But then when I would try to walk upstairs, it felt like I was stabbed in the knee. Oh. Like someone just took a knife and stabbed me in my knee. So I was like, something's wrong. And then I go to the doctor and they're like, you have like a small chip of cartilage that we just got to go in and shave it out and you'll be fine.
That's it.
But that took, I didn't have insurance at the time. So that took, that was the longest process, finding the insurance that I can afford at that time, then paying for the insurance, then being like, oh, I got hurt.
Right.
And then going through the whole process in the hospital. And then going through the surgery.
Gotta love our healthcare system.
I know, right?
The worst.
It was
worst.
Almost a year. It was almost a year, 10 months.
Would it have been easy? Would you have been back on your board quicker if you had gotten surgery right away?
probably half the time,
Half-
if anything.
at least,
like it was
right?
8 to 10 months. So yeah, like
Okay.
4 to 5 months.
When you got the surgery, how long did it take you to get back on your board?
Well, the whole thing took about 10, like I said, 8 to 10 months.
Okay.
From when I got hurt to when I was back on
Damn
my board.
near a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then it was getting back on my board, and then these guys wanting to turn their website, change the name, they had the name, they had the whatever, the marketing strategy, I guess you could say, the ideas for it, and they wanted me to be a part of it in order to, like, I guess, solidify it.
Right.
And then I came aboard, and it was cool because I also got to work on the back end and start learning about
That's cool, yeah.
things
That's
like
super
that.
dope.
Yeah.
Did you turn pro on arcade?
On arcade.
On arcade. Okay.
Yeah. The whole pro conversation happened since Rhythm. But like,
You're on the
with
2-year program.
Rhythm, no, I was on Rhythm longer than 2 years.
Oh, you were?
I was on Rhythm and Osiris probably like 6 years, I think, or
Damn.
no, or 6 years on Osiris, definitely. I forget if it was like as much time or maybe like a year or two behind, but it was definitely longer than 2 years.
Huh. Okay.
I got on Rhythm in like 97, I think, or like when I started getting boards.
Right.
When I got advertised for the first time, I think it was like 98.
98.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And then, I don't know.
Because Rhythm faded out and they just
With like Planet Earth.
kept doing Planet Earth.
K2
Yeah.
came in. K2 came in. I don't know what they pulled the plug on whatever was out of that distribution.
Because when I skated
Rhythm
for
was one of them.
I think when I skated for audio, it was already owned by K2.
And before that happened is when I went over to Zoo, because I kind of knew that it was like,
You've seen the writing.
yeah, kind of, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna move on over
Well-
here. But then that was not with the Zoo thing was the shortest thing in the beginning. It was like a
Gotcha.
week.
Oh wow.
I was on. They were like, we're gonna do an ad.
Wait,
I got
we
a
didn't even.
photo,
It was a what?
and then I was like, I'm out.
Why? You just got
You
a better
didn't-
offer or didn't like what they were
No,
doing?
no. It's like
Didn't
I
feel
just
right.
didn't feel right.
Did you ever get a paycheck?
Thank you. No, that like it was
Didn't
just
work
like
long enough.
yeah, exactly.
Give me a week's pay.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this thing instead because I feel more comfortable here.
Okay.
I didn't feel comfortable there.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That after a week, you had that feeling.
The vibes weren't right.
That's
bro.
crazy.
Vibes weren't right.
I
Wait.
think you got. I mean, I don't know. I feel like most people can relate to that.
100%, but it's
You know?
it's a very
It's-
short period of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
well,
you have to be
but
really.
but it's
rubbed-
over a long period of time.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's over like from 93 to whatever the year that was.
Right.
Right.
It's over a long period of time. So it's
I get
just
you.
one of those things where it was like I look up to these guys and I respect these guys
Mm-hmm.
to this day. But it was at that moment in time,
Right.
not a comfortable thing for me.
And again, like I said before, Zoo York has been through different iterations
Yeah,
of
for sure.
the
Yeah.
team and back
Yeah.
end people and all that
But
stuff.
I mean,
so.
like I said, I have a lot of respect for those guys.
Yeah.
I talked to like a lot of the owners of that company,
Amazing.
like Rodney Smith, Adam Schatz, Eli, like I all those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
It was just that point in time for me.
I feel you.
know what I mean?
100%, man.
And to this day I can't do anything but stand by that.
Right.
You know?
So after official,
I'm
They-
so confused on the whole time frame.
I know.
No.
I know, me too. I confused myself.
I love
No,
it.
it's easy. Screw, rhythm. Am I missing
we
something
should write
wrong
it.
now?
We should write it down.
We need like
Yeah.
a. We need
got
like
a whiteboard right here. Just
Yeah,
I know.
we-
We should write the whole thing down because literally I like
It
don't
was
even
a
remember.
screw, rhythm.
No.
Oh, what? Screw,
Screw skateboards, yes. Brooklyn boards,
Brooklyn boards,
yes.
rhythm.
Rhythm
There it is.
was like Zoo Flow. Then
Zoo flow, rhythm. Back to zoo.
No.
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 come on, Jerron, help me out here.
Official? Or
No,
help
official's
him
last.
out.
was
Help him
arcade.
out.
No.
No.
Infamous.
Infamous Arcade Official.
Yes. And then
Then Zoo York.
Again.
Yeah.
I love this. This is so awesome.
We're gonna
Put
put
a
this.
breakdown. A little breakdown.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to do some investigative reports.
Yeah,
you know.
someone should because
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Fuck.
But wait,
Clearly,
you said
I don't remember.
you said you wrote when you were writing for Rhythm, there was a pro talk going on, right?
Yeah, I like had a meeting with Jeff Taylor and with Felix, and it was just at that time I was getting a lot of coverage, and I guess that might have created some sort of demand or something, where they sat me down and we were like talking about it, but it was like that was it. That was the only thing that it was at that point in time.
Just a talk.
That conversation.
Was it a conversation like, hey, maybe go get an interview? If you go do these things, this will happen.
No. I was doing those things already. I had like the checkouts, the little interviews, the whatever, the coverage, the ads, etc. I had other people advertising me as well.
Right.
The random clips popping up here and there. Just I was doing the work, like I said, which I think is what created that conversation to begin with. Right. But it just didn't go any further than that. And then I think it's because of the K2 thing coming in. They're probably looking at the situation.
They're just looking at numbers, man.
Yeah, they're looking at shit from top to bottom.
Basically, and like the only thing they kind of kept was Planet Earth and audio.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah. And then
you didn't feel secure in that sense.
Yeah. I didn't. And so, that's kind of what led to that whole roller coaster of like, oh, I'm here, there, nah, I'm gonna go over here. Just trying to find my place within this thing we do, right?
And that's it's kind of a shitty roller coaster.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not trying to paint this perfect picture. I'm just trying to tell you what it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And but all of it does have its positives. I'm not here to be a downer either.
For sure.
I'm here to just say like it had its ups and downs.
Right.
It's been an interesting ride. I'm here now.
Yeah.
And I have my own thing, which I can basically give what I felt I was lacking to people I believe in.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
So
that's
Torro.
Yes, Torro Skateboards.
Torro Skateboards.
Yeah.
When did you you've been doing it for a while?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Just me.
Just you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just me. This is something, like I said, I love skateboarding, and it's something that I want to do to support and contribute back to skateboarding.
Pay it forward, bro.
I love it.
Basically.
I love it. And are you just like sponsoring like kids like around your zone, or like how do you find like
younger talent?
Well, right now it's pretty easy.
I know. everybody's good.
Really good.
Right.
Okay, but I guess what Torro Skateboards is for me, like why I started it.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, it's my contribution back to skateboarding. It allows me to be a platform for the younger kids to give them that kind of support, and it also it's just like inspired basically by my roots in New York and my heritage.
Right.
And it's not limited to my heritage. It's a heritage brand, let's say, and it represents the culture in New York, which is extremely diverse.
Right.
Right. But I do want that Latino culture to be represented.
Sure.
Right now, not the whole time, but right now with Torro, everyone is a Latino skateboarder. But like I said, we're not limited to that. New York Queens specifically, is the most culturally diverse place in the world, I think. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to do with Torro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long have you been doing it?
Since 2012.
2012. I gotta applaud you, bro, because like any business to keep running that long,
10 years, that's
especially in skateboarding.
In April 2nd, Harold
April
Hunter's
2nd.
birthday.
Coming up.
Hey.
Harold Hunter's birthday.
Yeah,
that's when I started the brand.
That's incredible. But skateboarding, we know, I mean, the business side of it is fucking difficult.
It's not easy.
It is.
It's not easy. It's just like the run that I've been having. It's just like this roller coaster of ups and downs.
Man.
But the positive is what I've been learning. And like it's a good feeling to be able to help some kids out and give them like opportunity and use the resources that I have to help as much as I can. Obviously they got to do their thing. They got to get photos, get footage, etc. You guys know the deal.
Yeah. Sure.
But if I'm there to help them do that, even better. If I'm supporting them with product, if I'm filming them, if I'm shooting them, I think it's more meaningful for them.
Right.
But it's also meaningful for me. You know what I mean? So like, it just kind of, it's like one hand washes the other. It's just,
you both take away something from it.
Yeah, and everyone involved believes in what I'm doing. And it's
I
a great way also for me to work with people that I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the boards behind you.
Yep.
That's my boy Scam too. That's our newest collabo that we just did with him. He's an amazing artist.
Wow.
And we're about to release this probably by the time this comes out.
Hell yeah.
Because he's got a lot of fans as well.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely. He's an amazing artist. He did work. He did Eminem's first LP.
Oh,
He
really?
did the Beats, Rhymes, and Life album cover.
Sick.
He's a skateboarder, and he's done graphics for multiple skateboard brands, from like Kareem's brands to Felix's brands to my brands. Like
Wow.
he's just
He's been in the game for a
he's
minute.
been in the game for a minute, and I couldn't be prouder to work with my friend
For sure.
That's
and
amazing.
put something
Okay.
out like this.
All day. That's what skaters do. We love working with other like-minded skaters, especially if they're our friends.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There's sometimes there's turmoil that can happen
Absolutely,
amongst
just
these
like anything.
situations, just like anything. But
It's a
at the end of the day,
relationship, right?
yes, it is. At the end of the day, skaters have a lot of faith in other skaters to do things.
Exactly. And like I said, it allows me to work with a bunch of like amazing people that I believe in. Like
For sure.
for the last couple of series, one series we did called the Traditional Series, it's just like it was a series that paid homage to like our culture and heritage. Like I said, Latino culture and heritage. Like I come from a Colombian parents, so my bloodline is in Colombia. My mom's from Cali, Colombia. My dad's from Medellin, and like I am trying to do something that represents that kind of culture, that heritage.
Love that.
Like Leo Heinert, he's one of the pros on the team, and he's from Ecuador.
Okay.
Well, like his bloodline. I
Sure,
should say.
sure,
He's
sure.
born in Brooklyn, raised in Staten Island. His bloodline is also. So we're just trying to add that component because we feel like it's important to what we are, who we are.
Right.
So that's what it is,
I think that's awesome. It's like when Chocolate was very diverse team, and that was, in the style that these guys had, and the like back
Absolutely.
then it's like there was something special about that. There's this meaning behind it.
There was definitely people were paying attention at that time and seeing that, and not that we didn't see that. We definitely saw that because I remember seeing, obviously, for myself, seeing like a Javante Turner or a Trent Gaines like in Planet Earth videos back in the day, where for me, I was like, dude, I love this.
Yeah.
I love to see this.
It has flavor.
I could do this too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And once again, not limited to that.
100%.
We had one guy that rode for us. His name is Nika, and he's from I think you say Tbilisi, Georgia. He's from he's European or whatever. And then we had another guy, Brandon Johnson. He's African American, Japanese. He's just mixed.
Okay.
So it's not like we are limited to that. But it's just a component I want to definitely focus on.
For
because
sure.
It's a part of my
I love it, bro.
my life.
I love it.
For sure.
And so you say you do it all by yourself.
Dude, it's tough, man.
You're a team manager,
I don't do
artist.
it. I can't. No.
graphic
Designer.
designer.
I do the sales. I do the social media.
Okay.
I film the guys. I shoot photos of the guys. I do some skating myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we all want to see that.
Yeah.
So keep
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Keep doing
I
that.
appreciate
Keep
that.
posting that
And
shit.
like I said, I'm able to work with a lot of amazing artists. That Traditional Series I mentioned that kind of pays homage to like the festival dancers, the carnival dancers that that represent their heritage in all over the world, not just
Right.
in New York, but we have like these annual like festivals that take place. But it's a world-renowned thing. This artist, he goes by Trav Rock 1.
Okay.
And he did the last couple of series for us.
Sick.
Our Undisputed series also, which is just like, it has to do with just like the struggle, fighting for what you believe in. You know what I mean? But he just turned into like this boxing graphic theme series, which was amazing.
Sick.
So, and he's a skateboarder from the Bronx. So like, I don't know. I just think
it all ties together.
I just think it all ties together,
100%.
right? Like being able to work with skateboarders, like-minded skateboarders who believe in something that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And for the cause I'm doing it for.
Love that, man. Like I said, I applaud you for, because it's hard. It's hard. It's a tough industry,
Hell
right?
yeah,
and
sure.
to do what you do. And I think going back to what I just said about, just seeing you skate, because you're OG in the game, people know you, love you, you know what I mean, look up to you. And I think that we want to see that too. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see more of, you know? And I think you being the brand should be,
for sure, absolutely.
Boom, front and center, baby. You know what I'm saying?
I do what I got to do.
Let's go.
And I still get love from people. So I want to, definitely shout out those, the people that hooked me up, like Carl Watson and Paul and Yasha at Adidas. They hooked me up. Like, I'm psyched to get Adidas from them.
Sick.
Ace Trucks, Frank Gerwer at Spitfire.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, Adrian Lopez from New York. He has a bearing company that he started with Harold called Rockstar Bearings.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's basically it. Oh no, my boy Brett. He does a clothing brand called New York State of Mind.
Sick.
So I don't know. It's just all love, man. I appreciate it.
He
all
trademarked
of that support. Yeah, I think so.
New York State of Mind.
NY.
Bro,
NY. You saw the sweatshirt though online.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
NY State of Mind.
If you could get that, I'm like, how the fuck did he get that? Like,
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what people don't trademark.
I love it. Good for him.
But shout out to Brett for sure. I still get love from people, and which also inspires me to keep going.
Yeah, man.
Sick.
I mean, we were talking about before. It's like, because you were saying like you never really had that like video part project. You know what I mean? But you've been in so many different videos and projects. You know what I mean? Like that. It's such incredible footage that you were always doing something. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, it wasn't like, oh man, like that video part. It's like, no, I remember Rodney from this and this and this and this. Like, I've just seen you throughout throughout the years. You know, which is awesome, especially through the 411 years too. You know, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it's humbling, and I appreciate all of the love, all the good, bad, and ugly as well from the timeline. But like, I appreciate all that because it put me here. You know, it brought me to this place where I can learn from that and those experiences and apply them to supporting the next gen and still maintain myself skating.
I think it's funny, man, because like I think in all of our careers, right, we go through this thing. Maybe it was like, we're getting older, whatever, and then we start thinking about like, well, what's next? Like, what's the next chapter? Am I still going to be skating? Should I get a job here? Should I do this? Like, it's a scary thing for a skateboarder. Sorry, I don't spit on the table there. It's a scary thing for a skateboarder, right? It's like, this is all we know.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And so what's the next steps? What are we going to do? And for you to put your energy into this and keep it going and to get other, to help other people.
Yeah.
Damn, 10 years?
It's incredible, bro.
Dude,
coming up 10 years.
On April 2nd, Dude,
wow.
it's been, in New York, people know, and we have gotten some love overseas and stuff like that as far as distributions and whatnot. But it's still like, people are still learning about it. Yeah. But it's cool. It's still fun. It's still fun to be able to share what we're about and like be able to like have people understand that we're trying to do something positive. You know what I mean? And that it takes time to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, I think you got a good, because like it seems like you're very community minded and stuff like that. And I'm not sure, maybe you've done like community events and stuff like that, skate day stuff or anything.
I've been involved with a lot of those things. Like I've worked in doing a lot of those things, like from hosting events, judging contests.
Judging.
What you doing, like Red Bull Mania stuff?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Did you do the Venice one?
No.
Okay. I was
just the New York stuff. I was going to say, just in my community. I was
going to say, why did I get fourth? But
were you? Maybe it was you who helped me out a lot in. I was skated at one time. You guys got me into the semifinals one time. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. I got
Would you give me $20?
I got third place at the fucking.
Slide him in there.
Yeah. What are you saying?
Go ahead.
No,
what are you saying right now?
There was like a top.
You guys got me in there. Thanks.
No, but Barra.
I'm not trying to spill any beans here. So.
No, I think it was Barra or something. Barra was like, "Did you see Kelly? He fucking landed all this shit. How did he not get in there?" And you guys were like, "Oh, well."
We're like, "No, you're right. He's in."
Yeah, and I was like, "Dude, thank you." I was so thank you for that too. Even though you didn't even know you did that, probably. But I had a question.
Those events are actually really like fun, but they're just chaotic when it comes to all that stuff because you got so many things going on behind you, in front of you.
Oh yeah,
you're trying to stay focused on the skaters during their heat, and it's like
the Mania Mania is like a lot of everybody skating at one time. Almost, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly,
it's
and that's why there was like 4 or 5 judges, and we're just like, all right, trying to kind of tally up.
Yeah. You're watching manuals at all the jam format style.
I thought that was a sick event, especially for like
it.
this kind of. I mean, I love doing manual tricks and stuff too, so I just think those events are sick. They should do more of those. Actually,
I really liked them. You know, I was stoked that they did the first one. I think it was the first one in Venice.
I think it was,
and then they did the rest of them in New York, which I was kind of bummed about because I couldn't always get out to New York. So,
oh really? How come?
Didn't want to leave.
Probably.
I already knew the answer. I already knew the answer. Yeah.
Probably.
That was like New York. That's far.
This one's for Red Eye. Nah, I had to go chill. I had to go chill.
But no, those Red Bull events were a big excuse for everyone to go out to New York. That
was an amazing time. I loved that.
Was there 2 or 3?
That was the only.
Yeah, there was a few. There was a few.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the Maloof events. I did some stuff like early on for like Fuel TV, just covering kind of like a field correspondent covering local events in the city. Yeah. So I would like do a lot of that. I worked with this producer / filmer named Steve Marino. He's like a longtime friend.
Okay.
He also like filmed a lot of the amazing skateboarding that you guys have seen out of New York. Like he's just been in that mix for a long time.
Amazing.
But yeah, so it was easy to do that stuff too. Just work with him and like make that stuff happen.
So sick.
And with we did something for Ally Sports as well.
Oh yeah.
With Bruno Musso.
Bruno Musso.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Legend in New York too.
Yeah, amazing guy. Which was awesome. Just like fun. Just I don't know. It's those kind of things. I just like I said early on. Like I try to stay involved as much as I can.
Right.
Around the culture in skateboarding.
I love that, man. I love that.
Rand, I have 2 questions, but I'll go with one first. Were you the first one to skate into this
the courthouse?
The courthouse?
No.
Who?
Frank Natiello.
What did he ollie into it? Or?
He was the first guy to ollie into it.
Frank Natiello.
Make sure you understand.
Natiello. So you understand exactly.
The pronunciation.
I love that guy. He's awesome. He's one of the original guys who rode for Zoo Pro for Zoo. He was the first guy to ollie into the courthouse.
He ollied into it.
Where everyone saw. It was in their the Zoo York Industry section. I think. He was back like a while back.
Look what he started.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
After that, a bunch of other people like Huff and I think Kalis, like a bunch of people ollied into it after that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Supa nollied into it.
Ooh.
And I think I was the first one to flip my board.
Really?
Into it.
Yeah, that's what the first one I think I saw flip their board. Spencer front shoved into it.
Yeah.
Which was
that
super
was amazing.
Fujimoto.
Shout out Spencer Fujimoto.
Yeah. Shout out Spencer.
That was
Straight
sick.
Up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Front shove is kind of sketchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any trick into that is
yeah.
I know, but a front shove?
Dude.
Yeah.
Gotta have those on lock.
For sure.
A lot of people, like, when I skated it, like, with Airtoe Jackson and, like, Mike Wright, we were trying to do lines into it. I got lucky when I kick flipped in and tray flipped. It was like, we were like, oh, let's do a trick onto the thing and off,
Okay.
Airtoe Jackson, like, nollie back 180 onto it and then half cabbed in, which I thought was, like, he had just dope style.
Nollie back 180?
Nollie back 180 onto the platform, and then half cabbed in. But I just thought that was sick. Mike Wright switch ollied onto the platform and then switch frontside flipped in.
Ooh.
Like,
wow.
I don't know, just a lot of amazing stuff has gone down since that time. But I think I was the first guy to flip my board. Yeah.
And the kickflip was the first.
Well,
amazing, bro.
That's amazing.
What?
Kickflip onto the platform.
Kick onto the platform and then tray flip.
And then tray flip. Tray flip.
Yeah.
Are you here, Chris?
Yeah.
Are you here?
I don't know where I am.
Also, too, what was it like? Because you grew up like around when Supreme was kind of starting up, right?
Yeah.
What is it like to see where it's at now, dude?
Bro.
I mean, they support a lot of skateboarders I grew up skating with and looking up to. Jeff Pang, Gio Moya works like on the back end, like at their warehouse, like kind of running the show there and like
really
helping out like with all the online orders.
I love that about them.
Wow.
And I know like
they do a great job of that, man.
Yeah, they do. And I know that I think they support Rob Welsh in SF.
Yeah,
right?
he's the manager, I think.
Yeah,
there at
there's
SF.
so
Yeah.
many people that they support now.
Yeah,
like,
there's so many-
and they
that's-
recruit and bring them in, bro. It's so fucking sick.
Yeah. So
I
I
love
can't
Javi-
hate on
Javier Nunez.
Yeah.
Javier
But he's been there
Nunez.
for days.
Tino Razzo, Javier
Tino,
Nunez.
There you
fuck
go.
yeah, Tino for days. Don Nguyen they brought in. Like I
Okay.
mean, it's just like they're very strategic. You know
Right.
who they
Yeah,
bring into the
for sure.
to the in the umbrella. So
Right.
to
And
say.
it's organic too. It's like strategic, but it's organic at the same
Yeah.
time.
Strategic in an organic
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
You gotta suss out the
That was
situation
it.
first.
That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't have said it any better.
yeah.
But yeah, like I can't, there's been it's a big change, but they're, I guess, maintaining that
Like
that
they-
appeal that they're like taking care of the skaters.
They are,
you
bro.
know, like before the guys that are there, like Pang and Moya and whatever, like I know Ryan Hickey was working there at one point. They just basically took care
That's sick.
of a lot of the OG New York pro
Right.
skaters.
Super sick.
So I got, I can't like really judge it in any way. It's just,
Yeah.
I think it's dope that like as big as they've gotten, they're able to use that to take care of like,
And shout out to them.
Yeah.
They're about
You know?
to open up on fucking the old Tower Records, bro. They're turning that into a Supreme store, man.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like mind blown by that shit.
Wait. Where on Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah.
What?
The OG shit that it's still there. Tower Records.
On
That's just
Sunset.
about to be a fucking Supreme
Well, that's
store.
probably a
bro.
landmark, so they
It
probably
is.
can't get rid
It
of
is.
that.
But
Yeah.
now I think there's a discrepancy between Tower Records or whoever owns that entity
Right.
because they wanted to supposedly work with them and keep that there.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tower Records agreed with it. I could be wrong. I don't know. But anyways, that's about to be a Supreme store.
Wow.
that's sick.
You heard it
know
here
that.
first.
You heard it here.
Well, let's see. They're guaranteed that some skaters will be working there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
1,000%.
yeah.
I think the other one's going to close. And they're going to keep.
Oh, okay. It makes
They're
sense.
leaving
Gotcha.
Fairfax. Later, Fairfax.
Okay.
Well, that's why I
Wow.
thought that place was amazing because how small of a store that was. Like, and how much money they brought in
Oh,
to that
yeah.
place. So it's like,
Bro.
dude, you're paying probably like, it's just, I don't know how many people.
The bowl took up more space than the actual real estate of
Yeah.
the store,
Yeah.
like of the products.
I just thought that was
Amazing, bro.
amazing. I'm like, damn, you have such a rad store that's not this huge place, but everyone wants to go to this small little store and get
Yeah.
awesome gear. I thought that was sick.
that's how I was back in the day, like in New York. Like when I first started going there, I got to meet like Alex Corcoran, this guy named Chappie, and
Oh, geez.
and Pookie. You know
Oh,
Pookie?
geez.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So like, and those guys, being the new kid going in there and like seeing it for what it is, they like, I don't know, just maybe through the grapevine or just because they're good people, they like looked out for me. That's why like when I did that tray flip, I'm wearing the Supreme sweatshirts because
Yeah.
they were like supporting my skating.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't sponsored by them,
Right. Right.
but they were looking out. They were like,
Right.
"Yo, whatever you need, Rodney."
They
And
paid
to this
attention to
day,
the culture.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They were paying attention to the culture, and I appreciate those three guys to this
Straight
day
up.
because they were like, it was like no questions asked, whatever you need.
Right.
So
I
was like, oh,
appreciate
cool.
them. Straight
That's
up.
so
yeah,
sick.
yeah, and they're still involved in, some capacity in New York, in the community. So it's awesome.
They're worldwide now.
For sure.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. Supreme
Yeah.
is doing their thing, like as best as they
Must
can.
be a
They're
trip.
huge now. It's been bought and sold and whatever, but they're still staying true to like helping skaters.
As they
Right.
should. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
they should like fucking fade off now. Like the
No, that's
skateboard.
their
like,
bloodline.
Yeah, straight
That's
up.
something that they need to understand
Straight
and
up.
always held accountable for.
And that's interesting because a lot of companies get bought.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
change.
I know things change.
They
I
change.
know.
I mean, audio. Look at that. K2. When
they're
they
still-
sold,
yeah.
sold, boom, everything just
Yeah,
ceased to
Yeah.
exist anymore. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Yeah, those companies kind of come in and they fix what's not working. And to
Right.
be honest, Supreme had a great machine working fine. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
I'm sure there's some things that they could have fine tuned, and I'm sure those bigger ups fine tuned them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
they
for
left
sure.
what was there, and
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing.
They're keeping that purity to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and they got some of the best skateboarders to represent them as
Facts.
well,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
Strobeck, and making
Yeah,
these
man,
videos and
Strobeck.
stuff
Shout
like
out to
that.
Strobeck,
Yeah.
Shout out to Strobeck too, for sure.
So
Yeah, it is what it is.
I
It's
love
cool.
it, bro. I love it. Torro, New York City, man. Must have been fun. Retta,
Yeah.
RB.
Those were great times, man.
You
I
know?
can't deny that.
Yeah.
It was what it was, but it was fun to just go out like whenever I went out with those guys, and we'd always have fun. We'd always laugh. We'd always try to be as productive as we could be.
Right.
You know, and yeah.
I saw this clip of you back nose blunt down this table down like a set of stairs, and like it was the crew where you landed was so like Andy Batista.
Yeah.
Even Wenning was in the back.
Wenning was there.
Yeah, I was like, yo, look at that crew right there. That's so sick.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
so
My boy Jim Hodgson. I want to say his name right. Jim Hodgson from New Jersey.
Yeah.
He was like, for us, that crew, like me, Airto, Mike Wright, Scam, Moya, Andy Batista, Andre Page, like whatever, like Wenning, that whole, like he was the guy. He was filming us and like,
Oh wow.
it was sick. He filmed us so much stuff. You know, like that kickflip back tail you mentioned at Flushing and that fountain. He filmed that. He just filmed a lot of stuff.
That was when I went to that spot and looked at that kickback tail. I was like, whoa, this is kind of gnarly, dude. That spot looked like it was kind of tough to skate.
It was a lot of. It was. I'm glad it's not there anymore. It was tough. It was fun though. Like I'm glad I got to do the things I did, and I'm just like keeping it going.
Hell yeah, man. I love
man.
it, dude. Much success to Torro and everything. And, dude, I want to see that thing flourish, man. 10 years.
I know.
Up, yeah.
I know. It's
crazy.
It's crazy. I can't even believe it. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep charging,
I
keep
mean,
it going.
We've been here 5 years, and it's fucking insane that we've been here 5 years. You know,
Crazy.
Can't imagine
Yeah,
10.
it's 5.5, right?
Oh my God, we're half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I have
Wow.
so many like
Ideas.
people
and-
ideas and people I want to work with and people to thank.
Yeah.
And just like, I mean, the list goes on and on, you know, like I feel blessed that people are like backing it.
Hey, well, listen, dude, skaters supporting skaters.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
our-
reason you're, obviously where you're at in this, skateboard industry, dude. You've been always a humble, great individual. Every time I
Thank
see
you.
you, you've
I
always
appreciate
had
it.
like a fucking smile on your face, very gracious. You know
Trying,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Thank
No, seriously, I mean, I that's how I see you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that goes a long way, man. In this industry, you can get fucking the door shut in your face real quick.
That's true.
You know, and
Yeah.
based on
That's
how you
true.
move. And for me, looking on the outside, looking in, I mean, you've moved fucking great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. For
My
real.
man.
Yeah,
Bro,
man.
Appreciate that.
From
Oh,
New
yeah.
York to Laguna Beach. You know what I'm saying? You're killing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nice guy, huh?
Yeah, when they see your
Yeah.
brand though, people know what's behind it and the love
Yeah.
behind it. So that's
Yeah.
why I mean,
Yeah, and I'm still, like I said, I have so many people to thank. Like my boy Ray Wong, he's the guy who like has been helping me since the beginning with like graphic stuff. I grew up skateboarding with him. He's still sick to this day. Last time I skated with him, he did we were at some mini ramp. And he did a blunt half cab flip out, like
Really?
Damn.
in a few tries, and I was like, damn, dude, you like hardly ever skate. But anyway, yeah, he like, I owe a lot to that guy. He helps me out with like so many things on the back end.
I
like,
love that, bro.
sick.
just today, I talked to Mirko
Mirko.
Magnum.
Oh,
oh
Okay.
wow.
He's like, he wanted to say what's up to all you
Yeah,
guys.
Oh,
shout
hell
out.
yeah.
He was like, tell all
Yeah.
those guys I said what's up.
Tell
Oh,
them we
nice.
said
But,
yeah.
up.
Yeah, so shout out to Mirko. He's
Okay.
like helping me out too.
Ill at
Like,
sales, man. Sales for days.
Yeah,
Niggas.
yeah. So like, we're just planning some stuff, working on some
Fuck
stuff. Like,
yeah.
I just think it's awesome. How,
Damn.
like,
Yeah, bro.
the community and like people I know and are getting behind this, helping out behind this thing.
Well, I know, Torres, Torro, but is that
No.
what was it? No.
Torres, my last name,
Yeah.
actually means towers in Spanish.
Towers.
Like twin towers.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Torro was a nickname given to me by Steve Rodriguez.
Okay.
And it's because when I met Steve Rodriguez, and he's still the same to this day, he's like this big, burly, like gentle giant kind of
Okay.
dude. Like he's this big dude. And when I was young, and I gave him a nickname, which was Conan.
Oh,
Like Conan the Barbarian.
Barbarian,
So me
right,
being
right.
this little kid, be like, yo, what's up, Conan? And
Yeah.
he's like flying, doing the biggest indie grabs over the Brooklyn Banks wall. And I'm like, that's fucking Conan, And that like didn't really stick with him. It was just a thing between me and him. But like people around us would always hear me say that. And then one day he was like, I got to think of a nickname for you, Rodney. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Not thinking of it. Then just as usual at the banks, skating, like young, hungry, charging towards the freaking Brooklyn Banks wall. I just hear someone yell, Torro, like mad loud. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then more people, Torro, like just yelling it out. And I'm like, what the, like I obviously messed up on my trick. I go like, yo, what's up, guys? What's good, Pound Hug? How you doing? And they're like, that's your nickname. We're going to call you Torro. And I was like, wow. But I didn't think anything that much of it. I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. But it wound up sticking and being a name that the brands I rode for used to market me and sell products with my name on it.
Amazing.
And then since, like in interviews, products, whatever, it was like something that was used to identify with me. So I'm like, when I got to that final point where I'm like, I want to do my own thing.
Right.
What can I call it? I was like, you know what? I'm going to use that. And all the ideas came about like just trying to embrace more of the Latin culture, support kids in like, because my roots are in New York, but my bloodline's in Colombia.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, and New York is so diverse. I'm like, dude, this is what it's going to be.
Sick.
This is like exactly what it should be, like it'll identify with me, but it's my way to, create a platform
For sure.
to do bigger and better things.
You been back to Colombia?
Yeah, I actually have a crazy story about that.
Okay, I love it. Let's hear it.
I went to visit family with my girl.
Which part of Colombia?
Cali.
Okay. I'm not really too familiar with that.
It's
Everybody
like
hears
the
of Medellin.
valley. It's
So,
like
okay.
a big valley. As a city and all that, but yeah, it's like the valley. It's like where Geron's from.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I like
But
It's like Van Nuys.
perfect.
It's beautiful and like I haven't been there in years, so I was like, let's go visit some family.
Sick.
And we went out there, and then the pandemic hit.
Oh,
Okay.
the timing.
And it hit like after the first month we were there. We were supposed to only be there for that month. Once that hit, our flight got canceled, and basically the Cali shut down.
Okay.
So
Stuck.
yeah. So luckily for us, we were staying with my aunt and uncle, right? But they're older. They're like 70, 80 years old, right? So we were just like, that's like, it was a beautiful month that we spent. We got to go like up the mountains and just whatever, like feed goats.
Okay.
And like just go to these amazing restaurants and whatever, just do the like touristy thing. And I got to meet a bunch of really cool skaters. One who owns like the main skate shop there called Empire.
Sick.
And his name's Alejo. And he introduced me to his crew, took me to like all these amazing skate parks out there. So it was just a great like experience for that first month. And boom, pandemic hits, they shut down, they cancel our flight. We're stuck basically in an apartment for 4 months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do a thing regularly where it's like to protect the ozone or whatever they do. It's where depending on the last number of your license determines when you can drive, right? So
Wait, what?
yeah, it determines like the days
Trying
you
to
can
do the
drive.
same thing.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just to, like to protect the ozone or something like that. The
Pollution.
Yeah,
pollution. They don't want to
pollution.
pollute the area,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So they do that, I guess, regularly. But then they started a thing called Pico y Placa, which is, Pico y Cédula. The cédula is like the ID, Colombian ID. So based on the last number of your ID, determined on when you can go out to do essential runs.
What?
This
And-
is the pandemic.
This is what they-
the-
the height of it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is during the height of it,
Okay.
right? Like my girl and I are watching like Governor Cuomo's briefings every day, just freaking out
Everybody.
Right,
at what we're seeing and like what we're told is going on. And we're like in an apartment in Colombia, just like we can't leave. And it's super like militant there, right? And like I mentioned, my aunt and uncle are in their 70s and 80s. And I didn't have a Colombian ID, but we could use our passports to prove that we're not, from there.
Sure.
But it was like my aunt, they needed groceries, right? And my girl had the day to go. My girl doesn't speak Spanish. So I go with her and we go to the grocery store, and the guy at the grocery store literally had like, he's militant guy, freaking, I don't even know what kind of gun he had.
He's had some artillery.
Yeah, right. Heavy artillery and all that. And he's like checking everyone's cellular to see if they can go inside if it's their day. And like what they were saying was that people who didn't have like were out on the day that's not assigned to them based on their ID, they would get either fined or arrested.
Wow.
Oh.
And so this military guy, I don't know, AK or whatever the hell he's got, rifle, whatever, he's like threatening to have me arrested. And I have a note with a photo of my aunt's cellulose and her explaining the situation. And he still was like, he was giving me a really hard time because of just like nobody knew how to deal with this.
Sure. Very beginning.
And so it was a little sketchy at that point, but he talked to his boss and the person. It was just to get groceries, bro.
Right.
Wow.
He talked to his boss, he talked to the person in the store and all that, and then they were like, yo, just let them go and do their thing,
Wow.
like, but it was like that was sketchy. But other than that, we were just stuck in an apartment for 4 months, and they canceled my flight like twice, and then to the point where I had to pay for us to take a humanitarian flight to fly back, which was more expensive than our round trip to Colombia.
So your shit just got canceled?
Yeah.
And they weren't going to
they shut down there's so much stuff. The airline, Avianca, they shut down the airline.
Yeah.
The airline, Avianca, filed for bankruptcy at that point in time. It was just like a
One
crazy
thing
experience,
after
but
another.
we were fine. We were like in an apartment, chilling, watching the briefings, but just bugging out that we were in Colombia that long and couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because that first month, Colombia is beautiful. And that first month was dope.
Right.
But after that, it was like lockdown. So
were they like extending? Because you're only allowed to like be in this country like 3 months or something. Were they extending that out or anything, or just?
I think so. I mean, as far as I know, yeah. Like they must have.
I mean,
you got stuck out here.
Yeah. What are
being
you
a
gonna
tourist,
do?
like, what do you?
It was
let us go home.
there was no like way around anything for us at that point in
So
time.
we're talking like the last number. So you could only go out like one day out of the month.
It was like, I think it was assigned to people like 1 or 2 days like in the week that you can go out.
Oh, gotcha.
And with the Pico y Placa, which is the license plate, that determined like 1 or 2 days when you can go and drive your vehicle. Otherwise, you need to get a ride from whoever to your job.
Need a carpool.
Oh, wow.
You'd have to carpool, right?
So even if you had that day to go out and do things, you might not be able to drive?
Basically. Yeah.
Oh,
but like that, but that was like the norm when we were there.
That was normal.
They already did
the
that.
Pico y Cédula, that was like new and added because of the pandemic.
Sure.
But I mean, when we got back on the humanitarian flight, first thing I did was get dual citizenship.
Oh shit.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I was like, because I know I'm going to be going back there. I have family there and friends there, and like, whatever. It's just that's where it's at,
Sick.
Yeah.
Man, what an experience, huh? 4 months.
Yeah, it was crazy. It doesn't sound like much, but when you're just like
there
and you're just like, well, what can we do?
You
like,
can't do anything.
Yeah. How many times can I watch the 9 Club?
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of episodes.
How many skate videos can I watch?
Right.
Before I'm just like burnt burnt out on it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Could you skate in any way during that time?
I mean, I tried, like, but it wasn't. It was. I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was gonna like
get arrested or
either that or get sick.
Yeah, and then you're thinking about how gnarly they're talking about it at that time.
Right.
Like,
And I'm thinking about my aunt and my uncle who are the most susceptible.
Yeah,
I didn't want to bring it back.
That's a big thing right there.
So it was interesting to say the least. But
yeah.
We're just there, like,
damn.
Yeah, stuck. If it would have been like the pandemic, happened in the U.S. and it wasn't happening there, but we were stuck there because of
Got you.
Then it would have been, and we could have gone anywhere and done anything. Then hell yeah, I probably would have a video part right now.
Yeah, there you go.
My boy Alejo at Empire Skate Shop out there, he like was down to film. He's like their guy.
Sick.
Films the locals out there and does their
love
thing.
that, bro.
So I was like, man,
don't you love being a skateboarder?
I do.
You could go out anywhere in the fucking world and meet people and have places to stay. Yeah. Skate spots, just best food.
Straight up.
And you meet some of your best friends at the same time.
Beautiful, man.
That's your family, basically.
It's
right?
crazy. All over the world.
Yeah, all over the world.
Just like that.
It's a blessing. It's beautiful, and I don't know. I couldn't ask for anything more.
And he's probably tripping, just as Kelly was in Laguna. Like, fucking Rodney Torres is here in Colombia. Shit. Goddamn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I guess.
Yeah,
Getting a
no.
Mob Deep in his profile.
Yeah.
Man, Rodney,
Love
bro.
it.
This is great, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
What's the website?
TorroNYC.com
Torro.
with 2 R's. Torro.
TORRO NYC.com. We'll put the link in the description below so that
Appreciate
people
it.
can go and check out the stuff and
Awesome. Thank
buy
you.
some gear. Skaters supporting skaters.
All day,
That's what we
man.
do here,
All
man.
day.
That's what it's all about.
Not only do we like to talk and hear everybody's stories and talk about skateboarding, but let's support,
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like go buy your favorite pro skater's board.
There you go.
This is skateboarding is a very tough, we say it all the time, it's a tough industry, man, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Very hard to get paid. Skateboarders have maybe two, a job, and they're pro. It's like, fuck.
I mean, whatever it is you do, even if you are just the skater, I mean, technically you're working. You're
Yeah.
working to maintain yourself. You're working to learn the tricks, film the
Exactly.
tricks. Like all of it is a process. All of it's technically a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun. We all love it. We all want to keep doing it, but make sure I guess like you need to understand that like whatever it is you do, you have to work for it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
You got a YouTube also, right? Do you utilize that YouTube?
Well, yeah. I mean, we have some subscribers and
Okay,
stuff, and like
okay.
we've made a bunch of skate park edits. We made actually like a team video called Crudo, which means raw, because it's just raw compiled footage of our team back in 2018.
Okay.
But we've been working on like a couple of other projects since
Yeah.
then. So like, that's if you want to get an idea of the team and see who's involved.
Right.
That's a rough idea because not everyone who was on then is on now.
Got you. I think what's very important too is like, and it's hard, I understand, making content or videos. I mean, it's a thing, but also
for sure.
I think it's important, like the story,
Yeah.
right? To tell the story of Torro, that where it came from. I mean, we talk about it here, but to actually put it down and, I think the story is very important, to tell.
Well, that's why I appreciate and feel honored to be here on the 9 Club because you guys have allowed me this space and this time to tell my story.
Bro.
And I appreciate it.
beautiful.
And when I was in Colombia, I had this platform called Progreso Skateboarding give me an interview as well.
Oh,
so
sick.
I brought awareness to Torro out there,
Dope.
and they were all stoked.
Okay.
That's
and
right.
just recently, True Skateboard Mag.
Oh yeah. True. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
San Diego.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just had a little interview with them too.
Dope.
Yeah, so it's like it's cool that people are supporting this
Yeah,
thing
man.
and are behind it. So
For sure.
Well, we're big fans,
Yes,
bro.
definitely.
Always have been, always will be. And anyway, anything we could ever do for you, please let us know.
Cool.
We do raffles. We do all kinds of stuff. Support.
Fuck
awesome.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
dude.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of support, can we give you some 9 Club stuff? We give photo incentive,
I'm gonna get a photo tomorrow.
bro. It's $20 right there.
That's $20 that'll go right into Torro. How about that?
Hey, you know what I'm saying,
Hell yeah, thank you. I would appreciate that.
dude? For sure. Kelly, can you give him some?
What size?
Large.
Large. Got you.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And
family member here.
I know I was gonna say you got Meatball over here.
know.
yes.
Yeah.
How could I forget Meatball?
Can we bring Meatball over here? We love Meatball. Look at it. We love animals. Oh, little Meatball.
This is my guy right
Yeah, little Meatball. Look at
Hey,
him. Was
look at
good.
this guy. Hey there, buddy.
9 years old.
Yes, he's a senior citizen at this point, right?
Senior.
He's
Move the
doing
move the
good.
mic up. Maybe we could hear him breathing or something.
Nice.
That was
That
incredible.
was awesome.
Little Meatball.
Yeah,
Hey,
little
bud.
Meatball. He's got
Wow.
an Instagram if you guys want to follow him.
What?
Let's
You
go.
got a
What
little
is-
Instagram? How many
It's,
followers you got?
Meatball_the_pug.
Meatball the
So
pug.
sick.
Yeah.
Hey,
You want to hold him? He's shedding
hold
all
him.
over me.
bro.
Come here, buddy.
Don't worry, we got lint rollers.
All right, perfect.
Look at that. Oh, he's really getting into that mic. So where are you from, Meatball?
He's actually from Colombia.
Is he?
Yeah. The way he was gifted to me by my mom, from a Colombia. I guess he came in with a family from Colombia that moved to New York, and I guess they moved into a spot that they can afford that did not allow animals, and they were gonna give him up. And my mom was like, "Nah, my son I know loves like bulldogs, and he'll love this kind of animal."
No way.
And they trusted my mom enough to like,
oh hell yeah, Kelly, thank
give
you.
her, give him up to her, so she can gift him to me. And she gave him to me at 1 year old with his birth certificate.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a Scorpio, by the way.
He's a Scorpio.
For all the
chilling right now.
I know he's kicking it. Look, he's got little paws on the desk.
Lucky, dude. You got so lucky.
Yeah, he really did. But he's been a blessing. He's brought so much like
amazing,
so many laughs and so much love to like me and my family.
Aren't they funny?
And our friends and here at the 9 Club.
And animals are
all of that.
They're so funny.
Yeah, they have so much personality.
Bro, it's crazy how much personality. My cat just started doing this new thing where she just sits there and but she lift up her paw. I'm like, what are you doing? It's a new thing you got going on here.
Yoga.
Yeah, it's weird.
Meditation.
Lifts up her paw. I'm like, is something wrong with your paw? No, nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah,
your
It's
dad's
so
right
funny.
there. He's right there.
Yeah, this guy's as he gets older, he's becoming a little more like clingy, you know, like especially for mommy. Oh my God, like wherever she's at, he wants to be there. He wants to sit on her lap and all that.
Well, people can't see it, but this whole episode, he's been going back and forth between you two. Like,
if you've heard any weird noises throughout this episode, it's Meatball. It's Meatball.
You're kicking it, buddy.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Meatball.
Little noises.
Yeah, I would say Men in Black and Joey Brzezinski are the reason I fell in love with Pugs.
Pugs, yeah. I mean, Joey's like the pug ambassador.
He really
Yeah,
is.
he's got like I don't even know how many dogs now. Like,
and I think he was doing like what is it called? It's not
Fostering?
Fostering.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of fostering.
he's still doing
too.
that now.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Bro, I love animals.
Yeah.
They're so
They are
great.
the best. They are the
You could
best.
tell him. You could tell him anything.
You ready? Okay.
Oh, there he
I
goes.
understand.
Goodbye, little Meatball.
Hey, buddy.
Good old Meatball. Listen.
No,
He's got the.
But it's all
Listen.
Yo, thank you so
You are
much.
the man,
I appreciate it.
dude. It's so
Thank you
so good
much.
to see you,
Yeah,
dude.
Keep forgetting about that one.
rad.
Bro. Oh, that's
Do it
L.A.
publicly.
That's
Yeah,
L.A.
that's
Yeah. You know what I'm
publicly.
saying? Yeah.
Because I keep forgetting about that one. I'm always like pounding
Yeah, we got
I
that.
pounded
We
out.
can't.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll do the hug after the show. We can't get it over here, bro. Here we go. This is Jerron, obviously. Skater supporting skaters.
Oh,
Look at that, bro.
That's amazing.
Boom,
Thank
right
you.
there. I got Russell shirts.
Yeah,
Pretty
these
good
are
shirts.
sick. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Sick.
Russell.
Awesome. Thank
Also, gets cold out there, New York. Getting there.
Yeah.
We got a 9 Club hoodie
It's
for
actually
you.
cold out here, believe it or not.
It is.
Yeah, it's chilly today.
Joey
Little
was
bit.
all like, "You brought in the New York winter out here," and I'm like, "I guess I did."
Yeah, Joey blaming people. Listen, burning mug. We got a
wow.
great community. Sam Pearson drew that for us.
Oh, wow.
That's us on fire as
That's
skeletons.
sick. That's really sick.
Yeah. Also a belt. You can't get enough belts, bro. This is a great belt
I have
by.
a shoelace belt, so yeah.
Really?
that's
You
gonna
still
be-
rocking the
That's
shoelace
still
belt?
rocking the
That's
I
some
got rid of the
skate shit.
shoelace belt a long time ago.
I haven't.
This shit keeps getting. Listen. Here's a Grip 6 belt. We did a collab with them. It's a great belt.
Great
Great
belt.
Do they make shoelaces? No, just kidding.
I mean, you can cut it. You can cut it into a little strand.
Yeah.
And of course, the stickers for the photo incentive on your board.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
Yeah,
Incentive.
dude.
I am so psyched on
Bro.
this. Thank you on this
Rod-
opportunity and everything. Thank
Dude,
you.
we thank
yeah.
you for coming
yeah,
on.
dude.
And
Thank
listen,
you
Once
for doing
again,
what you do, brother.
thank
already
you.
know.
I tell you
Hell
again,
yeah.
once
Thank
again,
you.
like, we got our other show that he was
I was
like,
waiting. I was
he
waiting
was
for
like-
it. I was like,
he's
do I
like-
do
he's
it?
like-
I don't know.
Yeah. No, you don't do it. No.
for the people listening, we're talking about the pound after the handshake.
yeah.
It's kind of they don't do that in New York.
No,
It's a LA thing maybe
I
or
think
California.
so.
It's just
I think it's it started out here. Some people do it in New York. You know.
well, it started
They-
with the handshake, then the pound, and then it's turned into the slap and the pound.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
What's it like in New York? What?
I mean, me personally, I can't speak. Maybe I can. I don't know. I just
I'm
do
going
a
for the
pound
little
and a
thing.
hug.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
exactly like when we saw each other
Yeah,
today.
that's
It
what-
was
that's
like
what we do.
That's what it is.
love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Some people go just not even the hug, just go for the hug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Depends on who it is. You know, I know them.
Can I give one last shout out?
Please,
I want to give a shout out to the team, the skate team. Leo
Yeah.
Heiner, Dennis Miron, Gian Moreno, and Benny Guerra. Those are the like 4 guys right now that I'm sponsoring.
Hell yeah.
And those guys rip. If you want to learn anything about them, you can go and check them out on Torro NYC. That's like the handle for the Instagram, the Twitter, and the website.
Oh, you don't have TikTok?
No. Oh, no, I do have a TikTok.
Okay.
Dude,
Okay.
all these
TikTok's
so many
hard.
things.
It takes a little time sometimes with these new ones. You're like,
It's
I don't want to do it, but
hard, bro.
I don't really
do it.
mess with that one because it's like
know.
it's just another thing. It's like
It's
it's good, but it's
We're-
yeah,
we're-
it adds. It's
layers,
just like,
bro.
But yeah, we're old, man. We're set in our ways. TikTok is what everybody's using.
yeah,
We don't use. I don't use it.
I know.
But everybody else
I don't use
does.
it either.
people use it. I mean, I have stuff on there, but it's not like the platform
Let's
I use
start.
most.
Let's start using it in 2022.
Okay,
You want to do? You want
it's
to
the
make
start
that?
of a new year right
Kelly,
now.
get on the TikTok, bro. Post our shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Sure
Hey,
thing.
but seriously though, hey, seriously, Rodney though, seriously, TorroNYC.com. Go check them out.
Yes,
Torro
dude.
NYC Instagram.
Yes.
We're gonna put all those links down there for you.
Great,
Hopefully,
appreciate it.
people will go and check you out. Skaters supporting skaters, man. Let's
All
go.
day.
That's what
Let's
it's all
go,
about. Thank
man.
you.
dude. Thank you so much, Rodney.
Hell yeah, Rodney.
Thank
Bro,
you for
pleasure.
real.
I'm gonna go
Appreciate
skate
it.
after this.
I'm down
Nah, I gotta go chill.
with Larry.
Yeah.
That's what's.
Did you ever hear the Reddit story? That's why,
You said it earlier.
bro.
He like made fun of you because you wanted to chill some.
Yeah.
Skate, right?
I love Reddit. He has the same story for each individual person
For
that he
sure.
tells over and over and over again. I'm sure he's got one about you.
When he comes back on, there's going to be a story that he said plenty of times, and then we will have him back on, sure.
Oh
right?
yeah.
But he will say the same story that for you, and possibly for you.
Yes.
too, Kelly.
He's giving me the most shit out of anyone here. That's for damn sure. I'll say he's probably giving you a lot of shit, but he literally
Yeah,
talks
that's why I
shit to
stayed
me.
quiet because I was like, oh,
You don't want to open up that can of worms.
I don't want to open up that.
I
can
give
of
him shit though. I give him shit.
No, it's all love. It's
we
all
go
love.
back and
It's all
forth,
love.
bro.
Yeah, for sure. It is all love.
But he's a
That's good.
strong personality, so he can intimidate.
Oh yeah.
some people.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He brought the Brooklyn to Cali.
He
Bro,
did.
I love it.
Shake
Brooklyn
up.
Italian to Cali.
I love it. Hey, but next time you come here to LA, hit us up. You can always come back on the show anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
If you got some new shit or whatever, hit
Yeah,
us
hell
up.
yeah. Thank you.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
Hell yeah, Rodney. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.